That is the nation's leader in passing yard, Kyle McCord, the Ohio State transfer, having a marvelous season his first year at Syracuse, trying to lead them to a Holiday Bowl win over Washington State next on Fox.
On a day like today, in late December, where else would you want to be? Two teams trade the northern snows for Southern California sun, hoping to end the year on a high note.
Welcome to the Holiday Bowl on Fox. We've got a good one for you.
Which senior stud carries their team to victory?
What a throw! Kyle McCord is incredible!
Kyle Williams again, are you serious?
And which of these proud programs makes a statement with another bowl win?
Touchdown, Orange! Washington State scores!
Either way, we're in for a show. Live from San Diego, it's Syracuse and Washington State in the 2024 DirecTV Holiday Bowl.
Welcome to the 2024 Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Sponsored by DirecTV. Stream football satellite free. And we are ready for the 21st ranked Syracuse Orange as they take on the Cougars out of the Pac-2 and Washington State. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt. And welcome to San Diego, folks. What a great season it's been for Fran Brown in his first year as the head coach at Syracuse. The Orange 9-3. One reason is because of their transfer quarterback, Kyle McCord from Ohio State, who we saw a lot of last year.
Yes, we did. And this is where the transfer portal actually works, right? Everyone complains about it, but this is when it works, is when you find the right fit at this position with a quarterback and a program. Kyle McCord for Syracuse has been a perfect fit, and it's a huge reason why they've won those 9 games. He led the country throwing the football. He has been terrific, and everything starts with Kyle McCord for the Orange. Now, the opposite side of the transfer portal is what Washington State has going on, and now it's going to be Zevi Eckhouse that gets his first career start at quarterback for the Cougars. Why? Because John Mateer, one of the great quarterbacks in the country, he transferred. He's now going to be going to Oklahoma, and now it's the opportunity for Zevi Eckhouse, and what an opportunity that it is.
These two programs have met just once in 1979. A 52-25 Syracuse victory at Rich Stadium in Orchard Park. Maybe a high-scoring game tonight. Time for tonight's game countdown, sponsored by Progressive. Our team on the sideline, you know who she is. It's the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, guys, there is no denying that there have been some major ups and downs for Washington State over the last couple weeks. But when we had a chance to catch up with one of their captains, Kyle Thornton, earlier this week, he said that this adversity, it's not going to be the end of the world for the Cougs. It's also a big opportunity for a lot of guys. You guys mentioned their quarterback, Zevi Eckhouse. Obviously, this is a big moment for him. He's been described as one of the most passionate guys in the locker room. And by the way, when their former coach left the program, it was Zevi who was first to address the team. He told the guys there's a pretty interesting story that's being written about our team right now, but for our story to be published, we have to go win this game. He's fired up. I talked to him before the game. He's an LA kid, lots of friends and family here to root him on, and he reiterated to me, tonight is for the seniors.
All right, thank you very much, Jenny. And the weather here in San Diego, kind of a chilly night for San Diego. 62 degrees, a little warmer than it is in Syracuse right now.
I was just going to say,
it's about 34.
Everybody in Syracuse is like, what do you mean chilly?
Well, to all the people in Syracuse, I had to bring a coat tonight. I'm sorry. You know, it's a little chilly here.
It's all right. It's got that sea breeze. What a beautiful night it is, and an incredible game. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl, these people down here, all the volunteers, they do it right. These teams have been treated to an excellent week. And let's hope for all of us that we are treated to an excellent game, and I'm sure we will be.
All right, Washington State won the toss, deferred Syracuse to receive the football. Washington State, their last game, they lost to Wyoming 15-14 in Pullman on November 30th. Syracuse, what a big-time win in their last game as they defeated Miami. 9-3 overall record for the Qs, 5-3 in the ACC. And we're underway from San Diego. Willis will bring it out of his own end zone. And a good return as he crosses the 25-yard line. What a year it's been for Kyle McCord, Joel. The last time we saw him, it was Michigan, Ohio State. He threw a pick at the end of the game, and the Wolverines held on to win. But here's a young man that won every game except one, and they ran him out of Columbus. But wow, has he found new life in Syracuse.
Boy, I tell you, like I said at the open, the fit has been perfect here with Coach Fran Brown in this offense. And it's a talented offense, but it really works because of the leadership and more really the intelligence of Kyle McCord. And it's a big reason why he has led the country in passing.
First down and 10 at the 26-yard line. And they'll run it. Here's Pena. Crosses. The first down marker gets out of bounds. Very nice run. A 17-yard gain. Offensively, let's take a look at the Orange.
Yeah, this offensive line, Gus, very experienced. 135 starts between them. They're very good in pass protection, but really on the outside, it's about Pena, who we just saw, Jackson Meeks, LaQuint Allen, the back, Aronde Gadsden. These guys can really play out there. All of them, Gus, have 60 catches or more.
Wildcat formation now, as Allen looked like he was going to take the snap. Now McCord comes back in. And he'll take the snap out of the shotgun after the 17-yard run. First and 10 at the 43. High snap, handle, play action. McCord in trouble, tries to fire it, but he had a Washington State defender right in his face. And let's take a look at the Cougars.
Well, this defense has been hit hard by the transfer portal, and in particular, right down the middle of their defense. They're not really any defensive tackles left, so you got a couple of ends that are moving inside. Andrew Edson, you've got Milani is going to move in there, and then at linebacker, Kyle Thornton, he's really the leader, number 52. We had a chance to talk with him before the game, and I tell you what, this guy is a Coug through and through, and there is no one that epitomizes what they're trying to do more than Kyle Thornton. This guy will play hard tonight.
On second down and 10, McCord with time this time. Underneath and incomplete. That ball intended for Jackson Meeks, the Georgia transfer, who's having a spectacular season. And that brings up third down and long.
Yeah, good coverage there by Stephen Hall. And Stephen Hall, there's going to be a few guys tonight, Gus, and we'll have this theme all night long. There are a few guys that are in the transfer portal currently, and yet this team, Washington State, voted, and they said, well, you can still play in this game. Stephen Hall is one of those guys and makes the play there on second down.
Syracuse beating Miami 42-38 in Syracuse on November 30th. Knocked Miami out of the ACC title game for their 9th win. Third down and long. McCord sets, drops it off near side, and Allen unable to hold on, incomplete. So the Orange will have to punt it away.
I'll tell you, that's exactly what Pete Caligas, the interim head coach for Washington State, wanted to see. In particular, seeing that high-powered offense step on the field first for Syracuse, and this depleted defense going out there, getting a stop, forcing a punt. That's a good start for the Cougs.
Pete Caligas named the interim acting head coach 9 days ago when Jake Dickert accepted the Wake Forest job. Caligas, former guard and All-American shot putter at rival Washington. Got a lot of great energy for these young men. Jack Stonehouse will punt it away. He stands at the 29.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Jerry McGinn is your referee today. And there's Coach Brown in his first season. And he is a Matt Rule disciple, Joel.
I love his energy, and yes, he really started under Matt Rule, and then for the last couple of years was under Kirby Smart at Georgia.
Stonehouse gets it off. Freeman. Flag on the play. Tony Freeman gets to the 25 before being brought down. It's funny, I was reading up about Coach Brown, and he said back in 1997,
Legal formation on the kicking team. 5 players in the backfield. The 5-yard penalty will be added onto the end of the kick. First down.
He said in '97 he went to the Meadowlands to watch Syracuse take on Wisconsin. He saw Donovan McNabb play quarterback, and that inspired him. Donovan was in the booth with us, folks, like about 3 minutes ago. And it's funny, Joe, I called those games back then.
Yes, you did.
Donovan Darius, right. Donovan Darius, McNabb, Marvin Harrison. Now it's Washington on the field, and here's a young man, Zevi Eckhouse, that finally gets his opportunity at quarterback for Washington State. First down and 10 at the 32. And they'll hand it off straight ahead. Pulalasi. Zevi Eckhouse from Culver City, California, which is right in Los Angeles. Short drive for him tonight and his family.
It is, but, you know, this guy really made his bones at Bryan College, an FCS program, where he was one of the best players in FCS. And so he's got a lot of starting experience under his belt. He's accurate, but he's very smart. You're going to see a lot of this. See him checking the play right now. You're going to see a lot more of that than you did with John Mateer, who transferred away from Washington State.
Second down and 7 at the 35, and another run. Let's take a look at this lineup on offense for the Washington State Cougars.
Similar to their defense, although not quite as severe as far as the transfer portal. Up front, their offensive line has been pretty good. They're going to be without their starting right tackle. And then on the outside, they do have Kyle Williams, number 2. And Kyle Williams, this guy had a phenomenal season. 60 catches, over 1,000 yards, and he's certainly a guy that they're going to try to get the ball to early. Third down and 5 at the 37. Let's see if the Cougars can stay on the field. Eckhouse will throw it, drops it off. He's got a receiver and a first down. Well executed play, and this time it's Carlos Hernandez with the reception, a gain of 8. And Carlos Hernandez, he missed some time early in the year, but he has come on here late, just a sophomore, and certainly a big opportunity for him as well. First down at the 45. Eckhouse near side, caught, bobbled, and another first down for Washington State as Kyle Williams with a nice run after the catch will pick up 17 yards. I tell you, Kyle Williams is a very impressive player on film. Now, he transferred in from UNLV last year. He was a freshman All-American while at UNLV, and he's had a great year. 13 touchdowns, is 3rd in the country. And by the way, 6 of those have gone for over 30 yards. So watch for Kyle Williams down the field on the explosive play tonight.
Schlenbaker checks in at running back for Washington State. First down at the 39. And they'll run it left. Eckhouse 3 the hard way. Defensively, let's take a look at Syracuse. Yeah, this defense is a defense that gave up 28 points. You know, so you would think a 9-win team, their defense would have played better, but they really didn't from a statistic perspective. Barron and Wax, their 2 linebackers, that's really the heart of their defense. Barron has started 45 games. Now Wax is starting his 47th game. So that's where they're really strong, is right in the middle, the second level of that defense. Opening series for Washington State, having no problems moving the football. 2nd and 7 at the 36. Empty backfield. Eckhouse steps into his throw. Deep. Down the sideline. Caught. And out of bounds at the 5. Kyle Williams camped under it. A 31-yard gain, and Washington State is moving and grooving. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about, is you're going to try to get some of those double moves. You're going to try to get some of those moves right there. Great job by Kyle Williams, and he got actually just a defensive back that fell down on him. That was Davian Kerr, and how about those little moves right at the beginning? The release, Gus, was terrific. Gave him a little wiggle. First down and goal at the 5 for the Cougars. And they'll give it straight ahead. Javinsky Schlenbaker will gain 1 on the play. I'll tell you what, this has been a dream start. You think of the month that this program just had and the turmoil that they've been dealing with, coaches leaving, players leaving, and every one of these guys, including their center, Devin Kalani, they told us, hey, we're playing for one another. We want to finish this the right way. And they've come out here and they've played with so much energy here in the first series. Eckhouse starting 3 for 3. And he'll run it straight ahead. Touchdown! Washington State. Zevi Eckhouse punches it in. And the Cougars score on their opening drive. A quarterback running between the tackles. And watch him, the patience
You know, not quite the wiggle that Kyle Williams gave, but watch this, patient, and then he sees the double team, great block in front of him, and he's able to just power in over the goal line. And Zevi Eckhouse, he orchestrates a beautiful drive right down the field. Cougs on top.
Dean Janikowski comes in to attempt the extra point. No relations to the legendary Raiders kicker Sebastian Janikowski. But Washington State punches it in. They go 8 plays, covering 68 yards, scoring in 3 minutes and 57 seconds. 7-0, Cougs on top of the Qs. And welcome back, 7-0. Washington State on top of Syracuse. Before the game, pregame festivities were sponsored by GovX here in beautiful San Diego. Think you'd have the courage to jump out of one of those planes?
No.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Oh man, you know me well enough to know. We worked together for 10 years.
I'm right there with you on that. Folks, we would not be, but I tell you what, Zevi Eckhouse, he may have the courage to do it. Courageous first series for Washington State as backup quarterback marches it right down the field and scores.
And you can tell how smart he is, and that he's played a lot of football. You know, granted at the FCS level, but again, a lot of snaps, a lot of reps under his belt, and marched him right down the field.
Willis is the deep man. Lets this one go into the end zone for a touchback. So coming up, Kyle McCord and Syracuse offensively back on the field. Both of these teams last won a bowl game 6 years ago in 2018. Syracuse beat West Virginia in the Camping World Bowl, and Gardner Minshew and Washington State outdo Brock Purdy and Iowa State in the Alamo Bowl.
And we just knew watching that one that was going to be a future NFL showdown. Minshew and Purdy.
Yeah, they were terrific players.
They were great players, man, but it just goes to show you, like, no one really thought Purdy was going to go to the NFL. He was a few snaps from winning a Super Bowl.
And look at him now. First down and 10 to the 25. They'll hand it off. Allen slashes through the Washington State defense. Gets close to 9 on the play.
Tonight's Impact players are sponsored by DirecTV. Stream football satellite free. LaQuint Allen is a terrific player at running back. This is a guy that certainly is going to be one of those guys, and he gets another carry there.
Breaks a tackle. Keeps moving, and he'll get close to midfield, a gain of 14 yards. Edson with the tackle.
How about this real speed? Watch this, just runs right through the tackle of the safety, McCoo, who comes up number 32. LaQuint Allen is a versatile guy. He can run it. He's almost gained 1,000 yards on the ground, but he's also got 60 catches for nearly 500 yards.
First down to the 47. They'll run it right. Allen once again, and LaQuint Allen has run for 900 yards and 14 touchdowns this season, with 10 of those scores coming in the last 5 games.
No one throws it more than Syracuse, but in order to throw it as well as they have and to be balanced enough, you've got to have a back that can be versatile. And LaQuint Allen is perfect for this system, and he's really the kind of the glue that makes it all stick together. And his ability to run in between the tackles, get out on the screen pass, catch the ball on the outside is really remarkable.
Second down and 9 to the 48. McCord throws to the sideline, back shoulder. He's got his man and a big gain. Terrific throw. Darrell Gill Jr. with the reception, gain of 28.
Yeah, it almost looked like Stephen Hall, number 1 in the corner, kind of got lost and didn't see the ball. Watch, he just keeps running down the field. Good adjustment by Darrell Gill, and a good ball from Kyle McCord. McCord is so smart reading the leverage of the defense. It's one of the things that really pops off the tape when I watch all of his games, is that he understands where the defensive player is playing, and he uses that leverage against them, and that's an example right there.
First down at the 23-yard line. McCord again to throw. Backpedaling off his back foot, and it's complete at the 19-yard line, a 4-yard gain. And that's Yasin Willis with the reception.
Nobody threw it more than Syracuse this year. 47 passes per game, and you only do that if you really believe in your signal caller. And Kyle McCord has the belief of not only his teammates but his coaches. Fran Brown telling us that, like, this guy is number 2 in command at Syracuse. It goes Fran Brown, Kyle McCord, everybody else. That's how much he believes in number 6.
Second down and 6. McCord sideline throw, Syracuse. Trevor Pena. A 19-yard touchdown. And just like that, the Orange respond.
Well, I just told you about leverage, and this is a great example. Terrific route by Pena. Look where this ball is. Perfect for him to go back over that back shoulder, and they attack Stephen Hall again. And that throw is on time. It's on target. Pena makes the adjustment, and it's a touchdown for Syracuse. Beautiful job in the passing game.
Pena had a career-high 128 receiving yards last time out in the upset of number 6 Miami. McCord 3 for 3 on that drive after 0 for 3 on his first drive, and they'll try to get into the end zone. Did they do it? Yes, they did. David Clement. And Syracuse goes for 2. It pays off. First, though, McCord to Pena. And then it's Clement diving in. 8-7. Syracuse with you. Looks like they have taken the 2 points off the board as Clement's foot was out of bounds.
The try is no good. The runner had a foot out of bounds, and the ball was short of the goal line. The score should reflect 6 points for Syracuse, 7 for Washington State. Thank you.
So a foot out of bounds. Disappointing result for Syracuse. 7-6 Washington State. Fran Brown's team against Miami in their last time out. They started slowly, down 21-0, but managed to rally to beat the Canes. Let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Well, Gus, there was so much excitement from the Washington State sideline after their first touchdown. Almost a collective sigh of relief given the adversity this group has been through over the last couple weeks. I couldn't count how many hugs Zeviakos received, but he immediately went over to the O-line, told his teammates this game hasn't even started. Stay in it. We've got this. He got back to film studying. He is dialed in and ready to see if they can respond here with another.
All right, Jen, thank you very much. 1st and 10 of the 25. Eckhouse hands it off. Pulalasi tries to get outside and does. Dragged down at the 30 as he gains 4 yards on the play. Deuce Chestnut with the tackle.
Yeah, you talked about Zevi Eckhouse being from Southern California. He's brought a little of that onto the field. His socks are In-N-Out Burger socks. I was watching him warm up. I was watching him warm up. I looked down and I was like, hold on. Are those In-N-Out socks? And I'm like, I think they are. There they are.
There's cool.
There's the treats right there. That's great.
2nd and 6 at the 29. Eckhouse goes through his progressions underneath, and it's complete. I'll tell you what, this Evie Eckhouse, he put up some gaudy numbers when he was at Bryant Joel.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was a finalist for the Walter Payton Award as one of the best players in the country at the FCS level. He was a conference player of the year, and he was in a battle with John Mateer before the season to see who was going to be the quarterback. He lost that battle. Mateer had a wonderful season. He led the country in total touchdowns. He ends up transferring, but this is a guy that has a lot of leadership and a lot of reps under his belt.
First down at the 41. Quarterback run. Eckhouse trying to bounce it, and he'll get maybe a yard on the play, but 8,500 yards, 76 touchdowns. That's the kind of experience this young man brings to Washington State, now getting his opportunity.
And I was interested to see like what the difference would be between John Mateer, who's a really good runner, and how much quarterback design run Washington State would use tonight. And they've already used it a few times now. I believe that's, I think, the 3rd designed run for Eckhouse, including the touchdown.
2nd down and 9 at the 42. And they'll give it Pulalasi. It's so funny, Joel. I used to live right across the street from Culver City High School on Olympia Street in Los Angeles, and that's where Evie went to school. I had a chance to even talk to the team once because I used to go watch practice.
I'm sure he was probably out there.
No, Evie wasn't there at that time,
okay.
But it's interesting. Things come full circle. 3rd down and 8 at the 43. Look at that formation at the top of your screen. Bunch formation. Eckhouse, quick strike. And not a lot of room as Hernandez makes the catch, but he's gobbled up quickly. Barron leading the way for Syracuse.
Well, I tell you, Clarence Lewis, watch number 3. Look at him just attack. And he's able to just follow Carlos Hernandez right in on his route, and he was right there. A lot of times you don't account for in the offensive possession. You don't account for that outside guy. You think you're just going to run that inside middle screen and run away from the outside defender, and Clarence Lewis did a great job of just trailing Hernandez and making the tackle.
Janikowski will punt it away from the 29. Pena is the deep man, line drive, picked up at the 15, on the move, hits the sideline quickly with a block, keeps going, on the move again, Pena out of bounds inside Washington State territory. D. Janikowski, the punter, had to make the tackle, a 33-yard return. Syracuse in business. The Holiday Bowl in the city of San Diego are some of the best hosts in college football, treating the teams to visits of both SeaWorld and the USS Tripoli, an amphibious assault ship home ported at Naval Base San Diego. 7-6. There's some Syracuse fans that are familiar with right there.
Some alums right there. That's Caden Pfeiffer on the left, and here's why we're showing him. Caden Pfeiffer works here at Fox Sports. Caden Pfeiffer's first job out of college after he went to Syracuse, played for the Orange as a wide receiver, was Gus and I's BA, broadcast associate, right on this crew. And now he's off doing bigger and better things within Fox, but so fun to see him and his wife, Ann, who also works here at Fox, here taking in the game tonight for the Holiday Bowl.
And Annie just showed me when she came up to the booth with Caden today that she's got a little baby boy underneath that coat.
That's right.
That's brewing, that's getting ready to come. And by the way, Caden played at Culver City High.
Culver City, I mean, there's a lot going on, and obviously a proud Syracuse alum as well.
2nd down and 8 at the 49. Kyle McCord. He'll throw it under pressure. Back shoulder again, and it's caught at the 30, or is it? And they're going to give him a catch. And this time it's Jackson Meeks, a gain of 18. Can you give me the philosophy of this back shoulder throw we see a lot of in college football now?
It's so tough to defend, and it's an easier throw to make from a quarterback's perspective versus throwing it and dropping it in over the top, you know, kind of down the chimney, if you will. And if you get this, there it is again, another back shoulder. They are working that one to the boundary against Stephen Hall.
Meeks again. So do you just throw it short, Joel? I mean, what's the...
Well, you throw it directly.
Touch on it.
The touch is that you have to drive the football. So there's 3 ways you can throw a football as a quarterback. You can drive the football, you can layer the football over a defender, under another, or you can throw with touch down the field. This is driving the football at the back shoulder or the back of the helmet.
Holding.
There.
Defense. Number 1. Prior to the pass. Penalties decline. The result of the play. First down.
And in a traditional sense, what you're trying to do as a quarterback is read the leverage of the defender. If the wide receiver, your wide receiver gets on top of the defender, go ahead and throw him, lead him down the field with a touch pass. But if he doesn't beat the defender and they're even, then drive the football at the back of his helmet. That's a back shoulder fade, and they do it really, really well.
Terrific explanation. Thank you. 1st and 10 at the 12. Allen, touchdown Orange. LaQuinn Allen. Untouched. And Syracuse takes a 12-7 lead. 4 plays covering 51 yards. And there's a happy Syracuse alum.
I love LaQuinn Allen. This is one of those players you start watching on film, and you're like, I tell you what, man, this guy's one of the best backs in the country. Now, anybody can do that, any running back. That is a great hole by the offensive line. You see that cut back, that little lane that it opened up, and it opened up huge for Syracuse, and they'll go for 2.
McCord. Quick strike. Caught. And Allen skips into the end zone. Untouched again. So the 2-point conversion works for Syracuse. Kyle McCord continuing to lead this season. Syracuse's football season started last November when they hired head coach Fran Brown, and then in December, quarterback Kyle McCord transferred in. The Orange had a successful season culminating in their upset of number 6 Miami, finishing the season 9-3 and 21st in the CFP rankings. Smithson will bring it up. And as Syracuse plays this game, Joel, winning 10 games, you ask any coach, that is a huge deal.
Yeah, it really is. And in particular, if you're doing it in your first year as a head coach. And Fran Brown, I tell you, man, he's a unique guy. He's his own man. He's one of one in a lot of ways. And our conversation was unique with him. And he has built a culture here that he wants to emulate some of the best cultures that he's been around during his tenure as a coach. What Matt Rule did at Temple and Baylor, what Kirby Smart did at Georgia. And he's starting to do that. And these players love playing for him.
First down to the 27. Zevi Eckhouse underneath. Kyle Williams with the catch once again. This time, Deuce Chestnut brings him down after he gains 3.
And in so many ways, you know, this season for Syracuse was a dream season. And yet, you think about some of the games that they lost. And I mean, close games that they had a chance to win. What could have been?
Second down and 7 at the 30. And it's Zevi Eckhouse hopping through the hole. Gains 4 yards. Barron stops him.
I tell you, that Washington State defense, they need a breather. So this is a big conversion here, and there is someone down on the far side.
And that will be Justin Barron.
Justin Barron, he's the linebacker making his 45th start tonight. 86 tackles on the year. He's been really good this year.
He's a converted defensive back, playing linebackers now. Came to Syracuse as a wide receiver. Team's leading tackler coming into this game with 81. So don't forget, folks, tomorrow on Fox. And since McCord started 0 for 3, these two quarterbacks have gone 11 for 11. So they're starting to warm up here in San Diego.
Yeah, but this one's a big one, you know, because it's not a place on the field that they would go for it on 4th down. Obviously, with the 2 quick scores from Syracuse, and yet that defense for Washington State, which is totally undermanned because of all the transfers, they have to get some rest here. So converting, I know it's early, but at 14-7, you're down a possession. It's like these are big downs here for Washington State in the psyche of this sideline for Zevi Eckhouse to try to convert.
Barron going to the sideline. 3rd down and 3 at the 34 for Washington State. Eckhouse to throw it. Underneath, he's got a first down and a receiver. Look at the first. Down the sideline, Williams! Touchdown, Cougars! 66 yards. Kyle Williams.
This combination, so you bring the motion out like this, but watch the clear out route, and then it allows the slant to come in right behind it. Everything is because of that clear out route. Opens up the space. Eckhouse finds Kyle Williams, and Williams turns on the Jets, and that is his 7th touchdown of 30 or more yards on the year. That is incredible production from Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams, his 2nd season at Washington State after 3 at UNLV. Cougars undermanned, balling out early. Zevi Eckhouse, bullseye. Kyle Williams already having a day. 4 catches, 116 yards receiving, and a touchdown. Eckhouse, 7 of 7. And Washington State takes the lead over Syracuse.
Gus, 7 for 7. He hasn't thrown a pass since their game against Portland State on August 31st. And Eckhouse rolls out here, and he's 7 for 7 against the top 25 team with a touchdown. I love this, man. I'm telling you. Listen, I get it. Like, everyone's going to lament the portal, but look at the opportunity it provides. Zevi Eckhouse is just walking through that threshold right now. What a performance early.
All right, that brings us to tonight's Aflac Trivia question, sponsored by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Prior to Kyle McCord, who was the last Syracuse player to finish in the top 10 of Heisman voting?
Oh.
That's a good one.
I don't know that one. I don't even have a good educated
Gave
guess.
up already. First down and 10 to the 25. Play fake. McCord goes deep. And incomplete. That one intended for Darrell Gill Jr. and Stephen Hall in coverage. So let's give you the answer. I'm going to say, Dwight Freeney. Wow, that's a heck of a one there. Prior to Kyle McCord, who was the last Syracuse player to finish the top 10. Yep, Dwight Freeney in 2001 as a defender. NFL Hall of Famer. Indianapolis Colts. 2nd and 10 of the 25. Empty backfield for McCord. Swings it out. Allen crosses the line of scrimmage and gains a couple.
I'll tell you, this would be a big stop if you're Washington State. And Syracuse came out, took the shot down the field. I like it. They are attacking Stephen Hall, there's no doubt. But what that stop on 2nd down did is it kind of takes away the run threat. You know, I told you, they're not playing with any defensive tackles, this Washington State team. They are depleted in the middle of that defense. So they would much rather be in a long yardage situation like this.
14-14, 3rd down and 8 at the 27. McCord under pressure. That one deflected and incomplete. Andrew Edson got a hand on it and knocked it down.
So Edson is going to bail out of this rush, and he really should have picked this off. He's got all that defensive lineman tape on his hands, though. Look at it. So he's got one good hand, but his thumb's taped. He's got a club on the other hand, and he's trying to squeeze the ball, and it's basically like trying to catch a ball right out of the cellophane. It's slick. It's like it's Crisco on it because he's got that big club on his hand.
Syracuse to punt it away on 4th down. Stonehouse delivering. That one blocked. How about Washington State? Touchdown Cougars. Josh Meredith. Recovers. And gets it in the end zone.
What a start. I believe that was Leon Neal Jr., number 12. He comes in, he gets the block. Meredith recovers, Fran Brown hating it on the opposite side. What a sequence for Washington State. The long touchdown to Kyle Williams. A great stop from their defense and a block, scoop, and score. A special teams touchdown for the Cougs.
Extra point up and good. 21-14. Washington State with the lead. 14 unanswered points by the Cougars. And when you look at this Washington State team, what a performance so far. Look how they got here. They don't have their players after being abandoned by their fellow Pac-12 members. Washington State started the season 8-1, ranked 18th in the CFP. Quarterback John Mateer had 44 total touchdowns, most of the FBS. But at the end of the season, Mateer transferred to Oklahoma. Head coach Jake Dicker took the job at Wake Forest. They lost their OC. They lost their quarterback coach. They lost their starting right tackle. And look at what they're doing right now.
I tell you, man, and this is what they told us, and this is why it was so fun talking with Devin Kalani and talking with Kyle Thornton, the linebacker, after we had a conversation with Coach Killigis. They just said to us, just point blank, we are going to play for each other. And it was palpable on our conversation, and that's certainly the way that they've played here today. And Fran Brown tried to warn his team. He kept telling them, it's like, we're going to get their best shot. They're going to come out there and play their best football, and they certainly have so far.
2 touchdowns in the last minute and 5 seconds for Washington State. And the Cougars take a 21-14 lead. Deficit again for Kyle McCord in the orange.
Well, if you're looking at where Washington State's defense has some deficiencies, it's right in the middle. And so Syracuse on their opening series, they tried to throw those screen routes, had a couple of them stopped, one fell incomplete, they had to punt it away. That last series they've got to punt it away because they did that. Now look at them, they're going to get big. I bet you they get back to that run game on this series.
First down to the 25. They'll hand it off. Allen gets outside with room. And finally pushed out of bounds by Tanner Moku. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter. And what a quarter it was. Explosive. 21-14 our score. Washington State on top of Syracuse. Start of the second quarter right after this. 24 Holiday Bowl in San Diego, sponsored by DirecTV. Stream football satellite free. Start of the second quarter, 21-14 Washington State. This team losing all of their players, 10 starters to the transfer portal, their coach, their offensive coordinator, their quarterback's coach, their star quarterback. Here's the run. Allen breaks free, crosses the 40. Picks up about 9 yards on the play. Moku with the tackle again.
And again, I touched on this. They lost all their defensive tackles, and so now everybody in there is 285 or lighter. And really their heaviest guy, Bryson Lamb, 99, he's 285. Andrew Edson, number 95, he's having to play in the interior. He only weighs 253 pounds. And so if Syracuse wants to make some hay here, they're going to run right at those defensive tackles.
First down to the 41. They run right at him this time with room for Allen. So, Joel, that begs the question, what are we going to do about this transfer portal timing?
Yeah,
this is crazy.
It's difficult. It is. And we do have a Washington State player down right now. And that is the wrong guy. That's Bryson Lamb, who I was just talking about. But, you know, Gus, everyone knows that the timing of the transfer portal is going to have to change. The problem comes in where anytime that you try to change anything, they get sued, and those lawsuits end up winning and going against, anybody that's trying to make changes. But we'll be right back here. Second quarter. It's been exciting. 21-14 Washington. Pacific Life Game Summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. And you see where we're at. 21-14 Washington State. Kyle McCord has been really good. 6 of 11 for 91 yards. It's just that Zevi Eckhouse has been better. 7 for 7 for Zevi Eckhouse, stepping in for John Mateer for 136 and a touchdown. Washington State also has a blocked punt returned for a touchdown. That's how we got to this 21-14 margin. Because we were talking about that transfer portal before we stepped away. We'll get back to that after this play.
Second down and 7 for McCord. Play fake underneath, caught this time. Another big gain, and it's Emmanuel Gatson. Arande Gatson, the prolific tight end, with a gain of 23.
The issue with the transfer portal is the timing. We cannot build rosters and play the season at the same time. We don't have free agency in the NFL the week between the regular season and the wild card round of the playoffs. That's crazy. Why do we do it in college football? So the timing of the transfer portal has to change.
Here's a handoff on the reverse. Pena, first down and more as he stumbles forward inside the Washington State 20 for a gain of 15. When can they do it? Can they do it this season, this offseason?
I don't know if they'll be able to change it this offseason. Right now, you can transfer in December. You can also transfer again in the spring. I believe that we're going to go to some model where there's only one window, and it's probably after the school year in the spring.
This one thrown up top, incomplete. Pena, the target for Syracuse, defended. Gushikin right there.
Good coverage from Gushikin, and he's their most experienced player in the secondary. They were hit hard by the portal in the secondary. We've seen Stephen Hall get attacked #1, but Gushikin, their nickel, he's really their best cover guy, and he's working in the slot against Pena, who primarily works out of the slot. That's a really good matchup, and Gushikin got the better of Pena on that one.
Second down and 10 of the 18. Syracuse trying to level this game. Down 21-14. Trips at the top of your screen. McCord looks near side. in the end zone, touchdown. Rondé Gadsden the second. One of the best tight ends in America with an 18-yard touchdown, and it's a 21-20 game.
This is just a terrific route. Watch him get to the inside of Colson. He just pumps him to the out, breaks back to the inside. Gadsden is just such a good player. He's 6'6", 236 pounds. As a tight end, came into tonight's ballgame with 69 catches, 5 of them for touchdowns. So smooth in the open field.
We'll go into the NFL draft after this season. Third-team Associated Press All-American. McCord to Gadsden. We've got a ball game here at the Holiday Bowl. A shootout, 21 up here in the second quarter. Welcome back to San Diego, 21-21. Washington State and Syracuse level, 4 touchdowns in the last 4.5 minutes. Gadsden with an 18-yarder.
Gosh, he's good, man. I've loved watching him in the lead up to this game, just watching Syracuse on offense. Love their offense overall, but Gadsden is just such a terrific player. It's his size, but then also he's got this ability. And did you see the subtleness at the top of that route? He's got that fluidity at the top of the route for a big man, and he catches it so well. Yeah, he's going to be a really good player at the next level.
Some great tight ends we've seen this year. Tyler Warren from Penn State, and now Gadsden. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
Well, Coach, you told us your guys would fight. How pleased have you been with the way your entire group has taken ownership of this game?
Well, the way they're fighting right now, you know, there's some things we got to clean up on defense. We got to get off the field, number one, but what they're doing on ST and offense right now, and they're going, it's all them. It's them, and that's what everyone's seeing. It's not me.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
So Zevi Eckhouse back on the field. We'll start from the 25, first down. Play fake, rolls out of the pocket, delivers on the move. He's got his man, and a lot. This time it's Trey Lechner, the redshirt freshman. He picks up 18.
And Lechner is a tight end that's getting a chance tonight because Cooper Mathers, is banged up, and he's not able to play in this one. Their normal tight end. Lechner is the kind of the flex guy, number 23. You see him in the slot right here.
Eckhouse to throw it on first down. Now bounces out of the pocket, tries to turn it up, and does. Picks up another first down. Fleet of foot.
Yeah.
Zevi Eckhouse.
He's more mobile than I anticipated. You know, I wasn't able to see much of him from Bryant, but John Mateer was so mobile and one of the more mobile dual threat quarterbacks in college football. And I got the sense that maybe with Eckhouse, it would be a little bit more traditional. But you see right there, just stepping out of the tackle with those in and out socks. He gets himself in and out of the tackle down the sideline.
First down to the 44 after the 13-yard run. Eckhouse hands it off this time. Pulalasi. And he's stopped by Chestnut. I don't know, Joel. I have a feeling if Eckhouse would have beat out Mateer, he may have been headed to Oklahoma.
I'll tell you, well, I mean, listen, it was a very good battle, right? And everybody involved in this program spoke so glowingly about Zevi Eckhouse and the way that he approached his business after losing the job to John Mateer. And the way that he was a professional day in and day out. Didn't get many opportunities because of close games. Oh, that was a dangerous throw. Good defensive play on the outside. But as they prepared for this game, and Jake Dickert leaves for Wake Forest, and Ginny touched on this, Eckhouse was the first one to stand up in front of the team and basically circle the wagons and say, no, we're going to go down there and we're going to play in this Holiday Bowl and we're going to play well. And he has proven them right in that regard. And that leadership, that veteran presence, you can see it play out here on the field.
Loss of 4 on the last play. Third down and 14 at the 48. Eckhouse. Looking. Guns it down the field. Intercepted at the 5-yard line. Syracuse waited for him, and this time it's Elijah Clark. But there is a flag on the play.
I think they're pointing towards Washington State.
Pass interference. Offense, number 80. Penalties decline. Result of the play is an interception. First and 10. Syracuse.
Ganashamore, the number 80, he shoved over the corner trying to get to that ball, and it was just severely underthrown. Here's 80, Ganashamore, and watch him just push the corner. He falls down, but there was Elijah Clark, and he was in the perfect position. And Syracuse turns the tables, and they get the turnover from Zeviekhaus. You know, on 3rd and long, it's not the worst result in the world. If you're going to throw a pick, you might as well throw it 3rd and 15, and you're going to punt it anyways. And now they're starting inside their own 10. So a nice INT certainly for Clark, but essentially a 3rd down punt if you're Washington State.
So Kyle McCord in the offense starts at the 6-yard line. Allen! LaQuint Allen with a burst. That's a gain of 28.
Look at it. You've only got 3 guys in here in the middle, right? So you got 3 guys. They just crisscross, boom. You get them locked up, and Allen is off to the races. There's no safety there. No help for those overmatched defensive tackles.
1st down and 10 at the 33. McCord again completes it. This time to Jackson Meeks. And Meeks is having a fine season, gains 17 yards right there. In his last game, Jackson Meeks against Miami, 7 catches, 110.
This is the pressure that Syracuse puts on opposing defenses. You can see it's relentless.
McCord again winds up, hit as he throws, almost a dangerous throw because Meeks was the target and Stephen Hall was right there.
Yeah.
But if you look at this Syracuse offensive line, they are big. David Williball, the left tackle, 6'6", 301. Savion Washington, the right tackle, 6'8", 340. They go 6'4", 6'3", 6'5 in the interior.
Yeah, and they've run it better tonight than they have really all year long. They were under 3 yards per carry on the season, 2.97. So not a great run team. That's why they threw it so much.
McCord looking, now dancing, buying time. Throws it to the sideline, and it's incomplete. LaQuint Allen, the target.
Wow, this is right on the sideline. Did he keep a toe down before he was out? No, it looked like that toe came up as he was trying to secure that ball. It's probably out right there with the right foot, and then clearly off the turf as he secures that ball going out of bounds.
3rd down and 10 at midfield.
Timeout. Syracuse. The first of the half.
So Syracuse takes a timeout and will take a break. 21 up. Salute. We got a salute.
I tell you what, salute to you, Mike Hill, and happy holidays to you and all the fellas back there at the studio. Got a good one here tonight, don't we?
That's right. Sergeant Mike Hill, United States Air Force, retired. 3rd down and 10 at midfield. LaQuint Allen has been really running the ball. McCord looking. Caught over the middle again. OG Arande Gadsden the second. His dad was a pro player, NFL, gain of 28.
He does such a good job. Watch him just settle right over the top of the linebacker, and he's just hitting that seam right down the hash, gets himself targeted perfectly on the field. McCord makes a great read, and it's an easy pitch and catch. I tell you what, man, this passing game, there's a reason why they led the country throwing the football, and you can see it play out right here.
1st down and 10 of the 22. Play fake. McCord again underneath. And it's caught at the 5-yard line. Wow. Darrell Gill Jr. picks up 17, and Syracuse is in business.
And how about the ball placement there? I mean, there was no room. Jamari Colson was all over Darrell Gill Jr., and McCord put that one in a very tight window for a 1st down inside the 5.
Kyle McCord, 11 of 19, 194 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Here's the run, and it's Allen who's hop through the hole, get inside the 5, gains 3. I just love the rhythm that the Syracuse offense plays with.
It's a great offense. They have been good virtually every single week of the season. You know, their only real off week was that total anomaly against Pitt on the road.
McCord threw, what, 5 picks?
He threw 5 picks. 3 of them were pick sixes, all in the first half. Just nothing went right. Other than that, they've played really well offensively in basically every other game.
Second down and goal at the 2. They run it. Looks like they're in. And they are. LaQuint Allen Jr. again. His second touchdown of the first half.
Good patience from Allen. He gets that little pitch sweep, and then you've got to be tough on the goal line. Keeps himself up. You're going to have to be your own blocker. BYOB. You can't block everybody down there. So he gets behind those pads and gets himself into the end zone.
27-21. Jackson Kennedy in for the extra point, and it's good. 8 plays covering 94 yards. The Orange score in 2:49, 28-21. Back to San Diego after this. 28-21, Syracuse, as LaQuint Allen Jr. scores once again. The holiday season. Help Fox Sports give the gift of play to kids in need. Visit goodsports.org/Fox Sports or scan the QR code to handpick equipment from your favorite sport to donate today. Leighton Smithson is the deep man. Jaden O kicks it off, and he'll kick this one out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line on the right hash.
And Syracuse, Joel, has shown an ability to score quickly. 4 touchdown drives in the first half. They scored in 2 minutes and 44 seconds, 1 minute and 22 seconds, 2 minutes and 24 seconds, and 2 minutes and 49 seconds.
Yeah, they were confident they would be able to move the ball. And, you know, the Washington State folks were confident that Syracuse was going to be able to move the ball, too, because of their depleted issues on the defensive side. And the whole ticket for Washington State in this game was going to be trying to sustain drives on their offensive side and make sure that they're scoring touchdowns on long series.
It's intercepted. Wax. Flag on the play, and he'll go out of bounds around the 20. Marlowe Wax stepped in the passing lane and plucked it down. Second interception of the first half for Zevi Eckhouse.
You know, where that flag comes out, I always think to myself, some sort of hands to the face.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense. Number 9. 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic. First down.
Watch Hastings right here, number 9, left side of your screen, and see his left hand. It gets right up in the face. Yeah, that's the right call. Umpire is right there. The flag comes out as the ball is released, and Washington State gets a break. Boy, and if you're Zevi Eckhouse, man, you've got to
dial it back.
Yeah, dial it back just a little bit and just try to get back here within your system and within your game plan and get back to what was working earlier. Syracuse, though, I'll tell you, that defensive secondary flying around right now.
Isaiah Hastings, Alabama transfer from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Redshirt sophomore. First down at midfield for the Cougars.
Snap infraction, offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
First penalty of the night for Washington State. You got to compliment these Cougars. They're playing with such courage.
Yep.
Undermanned. You can't say it enough. First down and 15 at the 45. Eckhouse. Near side. Caught by his favorite target, Kyle Williams, making people miss after the catch. Williams having a brilliant performance in the first half. Gains 10 yards there. Clarence Lewis with the stop.
How about the little move after the catch? I mean, just froze the corner, Clarence Lewis, and was able to get around him for another 5 yards. And what was 1st and 15 now, Gus, is manageable.
About fast twitch muscles. 2nd and 5 at the 45. Williams in motion, play fake. Eckhouse looks that way. Eckhouse now underneath, has his man, and it's close to first down. Carlos Hernandez found a soft spot, and he'll pick up the first.
Big tackle on that far side. Jalil Martin, I believe, comes in number 17 and makes a big hit right there and lifts Hernandez off the turf, but not before he moves the chains. And so Eckhouse back in rhythm, and this offense moving the football a little bit. Again, quick, short passing. I think that's where Eckhouse really needs to make his money, is getting to the formations where they can try to attack this defense quickly and get that ball out of his hands.
First down and 10 at the 40. Eckhouse slant underneath, and it's a completion to Josh Meredith. He'll gain 3 yards on that play.
When I was talking with Nick Edwards, who, by the way, is calling the plays for the first time this year for this Washington State team. Nick Edwards, the normal wide receiver coach, now the play caller in this game. He said that there would be a lot more RPO, run-pass option reads with Eckhouse. Use his mind, use his ability to really understand the defense, and you're seeing that play out a little bit. Some checks here before, and then they were getting into a lot of those fake with the running back and read it downfield.
2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground this time. Pulalasi, first down. And it's like Washington State, Joel, has a formula. Last year, Cam Ward was the #1 transfer portal quarterback. Now Mateer, the #1 transfer portal quarterback, going to Oklahoma, and you see Eckhouse coming there doing the same kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think everyone's Cougars are out there like, no, we don't want that to be our formula that they all leave. You know, Cam Ward was terrific with Miami. Mateer, I'm sure, will be great for Oklahoma. But there is something about this offense and the way that you can come in here and play well at the quarterback position. You saw a shot there of Nick Edwards. He's done a great job of calling this game so far.
Pulalasi. And I was reading an article this week that said college football should implement something they do in soccer, a transfer fee.
Ooh.
If Oklahoma wants to come in, they're going to have to pay Washington State to get their guy.
That could be interesting. Barron down again for the 2nd time today. I mean, yeah, I know that Barron was down earlier.
Jenny has more. Jenny.
Well, he's kind of been battling a face injury throughout this game, and I'm a bit worried about that left eye. So he has had a nose that's been bleeding really throughout the game. He's been icing that left side, but this is his 5th year, obviously his last game with Syracuse. He's been fighting through the injury, but obviously in a lot of pain. He has really been bleeding from that nose throughout the day and trying to fight through it. We'll see the latest. I'll keep an eye on him.
All righty.
Yeah, towel right up there. Oh, look, he's shoving the towel away.
Justin Barron has had back-to-back double-digit tackle games against Boston College and Cal this year. Career high 14 tackles against North Carolina last season when he was all ACC. Dad, Jason, played football at UConn from 90 to 92.
And he just wants to play this game so badly. It's his last game for Syracuse. He's a senior. Like you said, he comes in as a wide receiver, moves to defensive back. When Marlowe Wax went down, they moved him down to linebacker earlier this year. He's done great for them, as you've mentioned, led them in tackles, and just wants to finish this thing the right way on the field. How frustrating this must be.
Hopefully he can come back. Looks like he's okay. As the trainers normally say, just put some ice on it, put some tape on it. He'll be back. 28-21, Coach Brown. Charismatic young coach, came from Georgia, where he was known as a brilliant recruiter.
And that's followed him to Syracuse. You know, all of their rankings as far as high school recruiting have improved from what they were in the 3-4 years prior to what he was. They were, you know, sitting 50s, 60s in the country before he got there. They're sitting right kind of in the mid-30s in terms of their national recruiting rankings, so doing a better job on the recruiting trail, which you would expect.
2nd and 7 at the 25. Eckhouse lobs it up top. He's got a man. Incomplete. Little too far for Carlos Hernandez, who had a step.
Had the coverage, and Hernandez ran a brilliant route right here against Greg Delane. Gets the separation, and he's there. That ball's got to be on him. That is a miss from Zebi Eckhouse. Terrific job by Carlos Hernandez, who again missed time early in the season, but started 5 of the last 7, and clearly has some potential on the outside.
Third down and 7 at the 25. 3:55 to play in the second quarter. Been a great game, folks. Not a good one, a great game if you like offense.
Timeout, Washington State. Their first timeout.
So Washington State calls their first timeout of the first half. Sunday, beat Minnesota on the road. My Lions have the 49ers
For the division.
to clinch home field advantage. NFC coming through the motor.
I'll tell you, man, the Lions, that division is incredible, and whoever loses that division, they're probably going to have to go, visit Seattle, I would guess, be on the road. This game, though, this game never disappoints. We've known that. If you're a college football fan, you know the Holiday Bowl throughout the ages has been terrific, and yet this one that we're witnessing, more points in the first half than any others.
This game has decided the national championship. Underneath, caught. And it's Hernandez again. A gain of 5. BYU beat Michigan in this game. As Lavelle Edwards claimed, BYU's first and only national championship. Robbie Bosco, the quarterback back then for BYU.
Limping around that night, Robbie Bosco. Yeah, I remember that. This is a good series here for Washington State. Not only do they keep moving the ball down the field, but they're taking time off the clock. Now a critical 4th down here.
They need 2 yards. Eckhouse will run it. Can he get the 2? No! Stonewalled before he gets to the line of scrimmage. And look at the Syracuse players. They've actually lifted him up. A terrific defensive stand for the Qs on 4th and 2.
Trying to go with this little quarterback counter and run it right up in the middle, and you can see he runs into his own guy. That's Andre Dollar, 87, the tight end. He runs into him, and then there's the posse lifting him up and taking him backwards. They're not carrying him off the field in triumph there. That's Elijah Clark and company taking him back on a 4th down stop. Big stop there for Q's after getting back on track offensively, taking the lead 28-21. And then now, because Washington State gets the ball to start the second half, this becomes a really crucial possession to try to extend and maybe get that 2-possession lead here before we enter into halftime.
First down for Syracuse at their own 20 with 3:09 to go. Allen Jr. as he carries Cougar defenders on his back, he gains 6 yards. Kyle Thornton finally brings him to the turf.
They're running the ball for 9 yards a carry against that depleted defensive line from Washington State. But again, it's a bit against their nature because their best LaQuint Allen is terrific. He's a really good back, but they're at their best offensively when they're throwing the ball. And Kyle McCord is orchestrating that, and they're trying to balance the two right now.
They'll hand it off again to Allen, following his blocks, tries to burst through the hole and does. Picks up a first down. Gain of 7. Thornton again defensively for Washington State.
Cuse would love to take the entirety of this clock and try to punch it in before the half here as we inch down towards the 2-minute timeout.
So that brings us to the 2-minute timeout, folks. And before we go to break, we have to pass along some really sad news. Legendary broadcaster Greg Gumbel passed away today at the age of 78 after a courageous battle with cancer. In a career that spanned over 50 years, Greg broke barriers and set the standard for others to follow. He is the first and only African American to call the Super Bowl. He is survived by his wife Michelle, his daughter Marcy, and his brother Bryant. 40 years ago, the Holiday Bowl crowned a national champion with #1 BYU beat Michigan. Head coach Lavelle Edwards and quarterback Robbie Bosco led the Cougars to their only national title win. I remember being at home watching that as a Michigan fan growing up here. BYU throwing the ball all over the field.
BYU's got a big one tomorrow.
Oh, against your boys.
Yeah, that's right. That should be a good game.
And Shador and Travis Hunter, congratulations. You got a Heisman Trophy winner.
How about that?
Boulder.
Congratulations to Travis. What a year.
Here's the reverse. Pena. And he's finally wrestled down by Washington State. Lucy Malani with the tackle. .135 and counting. McCord rolls out, directs traffic, and takes it, still running. A first down and more. Washington State falling asleep at the wheel there on defense. A 17-yard gain.
Yeah, remind me of those Patrick Mahomes runs, right? Where it's like, looks like he's going to run out of bounds, and then all of a sudden he's just tiptoeing up the sideline. And a huge gain there now across the 50. In business here with 1:25 left. Plenty of time. Syracuse, they've shown the ability to strike quickly here. Minute 25. And they would love if Washington State had to use a couple of those timeouts, possibly, to see if they could possibly get the ball back.
First down at the 46. McCord in trouble. Running and dragged down from behind for a sack. Great job by this Washington State defense as Cyrus Webster tracks him down for a loss of 3.
And Webster was the guy that came in leading Washington State in quarterback pressures with 32 on the year. And this is just a relentless effort from Cyrus Webster, #3. First, it's the corner Stephen Hall, who had a chance at Kyle McCord, came off of that tackle, and then there's the hustle from Webster, who's able to peel back and get to the quarterback.
The Syracuse team, folks, this season averaging 456 yards per game, 10th in the country. And they already have 348 in this game, and we're still in the first half.
And so now with a timeout for Syracuse left in 1:16, now you just start thinking about, all right, how do we get the ball down the field? How do we go and score, knowing that Syracuse got the first half kick. Washington State's going to get the ball to start the second half. So trying to get this 2-possession lead. What's worked for them is these seam routes or the one-on-one to the short side and the back shoulder fade.
Second down and 14 at midfield. McCord drops it off underneath. And this time it's Max Mang. Backup tight end, gains 5.
Parker McKenna with a great stop there. He was a transfer from Portland State, #46, came up to make the tackle.
Third down and 9.
Looks like they wanted a blitz there, and McCord got him with that fake clap, kind of the false clap there, and now he's going to step back, taking a lot of time.
43 seconds remaining in the first half. 10 on the play clock. McCord snaps it. Sideline throw. Flag on the play. Looks like an incomplete for Jackson Meeks. Now they're calling it a catch.
Well, they go right back to that back shoulder like I was talking about, and it looks like there was some holding right there, and Meeks comes
Pass
back.
interference. Defense, number 29. Penalties declined, the result of the play. First down.
You see all that contact there on Meeks, who is so good in terms of contested catches.
So that makes it first down and 10 of the 25 after the 20-yard reception by Meeks.
I think there's some confusion here because on the replay it was clearly incomplete, but the officials during the call We're worried more about the penalty. There's the contact. Pretty clear that there's contact there. He's out of bounds, and the ball was on the ground, and yet thought that they.
The run on the field was a reception. Washington State is elected to challenge the call.
It was a 20-yard reception.
Yeah, and so this is a field position play. Like, the penalty will be enforced, and they'll accept the penalty, Syracuse will, rather than declining it because of the completion, which will then move the ball back to about the 30-yard line. And it would be 1st and 10 from the 30, not from the 25. So a difference here of about 5 yards, I believe. You know, from a field goal range perspective, this is a field goal kicking unit that has really struggled. Gus, they've been in the bottom 10 in the country. They've made 57% of their kicks. Jackson Kennedy, he's the one that has taken over.
And he started the season as a 3rd string.
Yeah, and the Holiday Bowl, this game is going to be his 6th game as a starter. He's their 3rd kicker that they've used. He's a transfer from Cornell. He was an all Ivy League player twice, and he's 7 of 9. So Jackson Kennedy has done a nice job coming in and solidifying what they're doing in the kicking game. The problem is his career long is a 46, and that was when he was at Cornell. They tried one from 52. He was wide right on that one against UConn. So I don't feel like they feel all that confident in their kicking game.
After further review, it is an incomplete pass. Washington State will retain their challenge. However, there still will be a pass interference against the defense, number 29. Be 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage, automatic 1st down.
So as you mentioned, a difference of 5 yards.
Man, they are wearing out those back shoulder fades, aren't they?
Yes, they are. What from a defensive perspective, what's the adjustment that you can make to
I would
limit it?
I would get in a trail position, meaning like I would just defend that, like force them to throw it down the field. I'll almost bait them into saying, like, I don't think you're going to throw it down the field. So get in a trail position, which, by the way, that's what Pitt did, which is why they got all of those picks. They got into trail positions on all of these short routes for Syracuse.
So that means you're running hip by hip with them?
Almost deeper than that. So, like, almost like your chest to their back, like as if you're getting beat down the field.
Okay.
If you're a defensive back, just get in a trail position and bait them into the downfield throw and see if you can actually get your hands on one of those footballs that he throws back shoulder.
32 seconds. 3-2. Thank you. The clock will start on the snap.
So 32 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. 28-21. Washington State wants to keep Syracuse out of the end zone. No touchdowns. They'll settle for allowing Syracuse to attempt a field goal. 1st down and 10. At the 30. McCord. Flag on the play. McCord fires on the run, out of bounds. But there is a flag.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage, automatic 1st down.
That's Quinn Roth.
Saw that go against Syracuse earlier on a Washington State possession. Now the favor is returned as Ross is trying to fight right here through the middle. You see right there on this edge, and his right hand is right up into the face of Savion Washington, number 77. Is absolutely the right call, and now Syracuse has got a great chance here. Still 23 seconds, still a timeout left.
1st down at the 15-yard line of Washington State. McCord sets up a screen. He's got Allen with running room. Allen making people miss, leans forward, picks up the 1st.
They need a timeout. They need a timeout.
Cyrus Webster with the tackle, and with 7 seconds remaining in this 1st half.
That clock is wrong. Friend Brown on the opposite
Timeout,
side.
Syracuse. That's their final charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
he was running down there. There was probably still 13 seconds when he was trying to get that timeout called. You know, we came into tonight, Gus, Kyle McCord had a real shot at becoming the ACC single season all-time passing leader. And he has passed some huge names. Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan. He's only got one more name to pass, and that is Deshaun Watson. And the way that they have moved the ball tonight, you would think that that would happen in the second half.
No doubt about it.
What a season, right? I mean, I'll tell you what.
And it's interesting to listen to Kyle McCord talk about his experience at Ohio State and what's happened at Ohio State, losing to Michigan again this year, the Buckeyes, and Will Howard replacing him at quarterback, having some struggles in big games. And McCord, when asked about it, simply put, he said, sometimes things come full circle. Wow.
Well, I think the way Ohio State looked against Tennessee, they feel just fine. You know, not taking anything away. Listen, to me, it's about fit, Gus. Kyle has found a great fit at Syracuse with Fran Brown. Great fit. Look at this offense, the way he plays. Everything about this has worked. 9 wins, it's been terrific. And the fit for Will Howard at Ohio State this year, at times rocky, looks like it is coming to fruition, in particular the way that they play. I think everybody involved is happy.
Ohio State with a big game against Oregon. A rematch.
Timeout, Washington State.
Of a game that took place earlier this year in Eugene.
Timeout.
Buckeyes losing by 1. Kyle McCord at Syracuse upset number 6 Miami on the same day that Ohio State lost to Michigan. After the game, he was asked about what a difference a year can make.
Does it give you any extra satisfaction knowing that the same day you outdueled Cam Ward, beat Miami with this team, that Ohio State scored 10 points and lost to Michigan?
Everything comes full circle.
Jenny, your thoughts on?
Well, it was so clear in talking to Kyle this week just how happy he's been. And look, we are around the Buckeyes a lot. We understand the pressure there. But he made it very clear it wasn't necessarily about proving people wrong. It was about proving people right. The people that believed in him. His head coach at Syracuse, a guy he's known really since he was a little kid, a middle school kid. They go way back. He is happy, and it is showing in the way he's been playing.
Trying to punch it in at the end of the first half here. First and goal at the 5. McCord, pump. Delivers, touchdown, Gaston. Oronde Gaston makes it a 34-31 game with 13 seconds remaining in the first half.
Man, this is such a good design. I'll tell you what, first you're going to get this fake sweep out here, and then you're going to get some slants coming this way, and then they just fill that vacant area right there. So you get the slants there, the toss sweep, and it just stretches the defense. There's not enough bodies out there. McCord with a little fake sweep out to the outside, and Gadsden is wide open.
Extra point is good. McCord has thrown for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. Syracuse takes their largest lead of the first half, 35-21. Let's go back downstairs to Jay.
Well, I mentioned that Kyle McCord has known Fran Brown for a long time, all the way back to Jersey days when Coach Brown was at Temple. Get this, McCord's dad was working with Kyle's father, so that's the connection. They've known each other. Now, his dad was very adamant that Fran Brown needs to watch my son. He was telling Fran's wife that this is a kid he needs to watch. Well, actually, it turns out he watched a 7th grade football championship. Deuce Chestnut, Dennis Jaquez Jr. also on that team. A championship team then, a championship team now, always playing together. How cool that they go all the way back.
That is definitely cool. Kyle McCord just having a terrific season, fighting through the adversity, learning from the experience, and continuing to move forward. Line drive kick picked up at the 20-yard line. And Washington State will start around the 32. 8 seconds to go.
Well, that drive was perfect from a clock perspective because now Washington State really doesn't have anything to do. They don't have enough time, even with 8 seconds and a timeout. Maybe you run a screen, maybe get the ball to Kyle Williams, see if he can break something. But remember, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. And so, yeah, they'll just get into their kneeling formation here and take it in.
Syracuse outscore Washington State 21-0 in the second quarter. And they'll run it left. And this will take us to the end as Tony Freeman goes down of the first half, 35-21. We've had 56 points and nearly 600 yards of total offense in this nearly 2-hour first half. 35-21 the score. Don't forget to join Sergeant Mike and the boys with the halftime show after this.
San Diego shootout going on. Syracuse 35 points in the first half, most points in school history in the first half in a bowl game. 35-21 over Washington State. Mike Hill, Emmanuel Acho, Chris Peterson hanging out with you. Welcome inside our LA studios. Hey, I know it's a holiday bowl, but the holiday must be the 4th of July because we saw some fireworks there in the first half. We expected that out of Kyle McCord at quarterback, but Zebby Eckhouse doing what he's doing?
Yeah, hats off to Washington State in general as a team. I mean, everybody's writing them off before the game even started. And this is kind of a motivated team coming out swinging and playing hard. And Zebby, for his first meaningful snaps all season long, 13 for 15. 176 yards, touchdown. I mean, not bad. The defense is going to have to get a few more stops. And when you're playing a quarterback like Kyle McCord, who's doing a really, really nice job. I mean, this is the Kyle McCord we expected. Yep. Scored on 5 of 7 drives. He's got 3 touchdowns. You see him here, another one to Gill. The ball just comes out of his hand so easy and nice. You see him here to Gadsden, one of these touchdowns, back shoulders. He's a master of back shoulder throws. This is kind of a clinic on how you like Syracuse offense throw the ball.
Syracuse has really settled down, too. Remember, after the Washington State punt, Syracuse, they've scored 3 times. Not only that, their defense, they've got an interception and then a turnover on downs. What I love about bowl games, you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
Players haven't played football in about 3 weeks. You never know if they're going to be rusty, how they're going to be. Syracuse, clearly, defensively especially, rusty early on. They've settled in as a team. They're getting it rolling.
Shout out, though, to Washington State. All those players in the transfer portal, nobody really gave them a chance, but they're still right there in it. 14-point game at the half, second half coming up momentarily. Hey, next we look ahead to the CFP quarterfinals. Last time we saw #1 Oregon, they beat Penn State, the Big Ten championship. We're going to look ahead to the Ducks rematch with the Buckeyes coming up. And Vanderbilt, you know, Vanderbilt hasn't had a winning season since 2013. But today, Diego Pavia, he did everything in his power to get the doors over 500.
For the first time ever here at Autzen Stadium, it is a top 5 showdown. Howard steps up. It's caught. Jeremiah Smith. The legend grows. Gabriel makes a move. He's gone. Touchdown Ducks. Howard's going to run for it. Time runs out, and that'll do it.
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon. They storm the field at Autzen.
Down to our final 8 in the college football playoffs. Peach Bowl, Texas, Arizona State, Rose Bowl, Ohio State, Oregon. It all gets started with the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State, Boise State. And then in the Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame and Georgia. No Carson Beck for the Dogs in that one. Let's talk about Ohio State, Oregon. Of course, a rematch from Week 7. Ohio State lost that one by 1 point at Austin Stadium. Will Howard's got to get down in time to set up that field goal. So who you like in this game and why?
I learned one lesson, Coach, in all of my days of gambling at casinos. And you never bet against the wave. Right now, Oregon is the wave.
Okay.
They done won 13 straight games. They beat the #4 team in Boise State college football rankings, beat the #6 team in Penn State college football rankings. Why, how? There's no logic nor rationale for me to bet against Oregon, unless it was just a feeling.
Okay.
But my facts tell me that it's got to be Oregon. Oregon, they are a reflection of their coach. Where coach is tough, coach is tenacious, coach is aggressive, coach is violent, and coach is confident. I can't say that about Ohio State.
I'm kind of with you. I can't say enough good things about Oregon, and you know those are big words from where I come from.
Absolutely.
Might not be able to go back to Washington.
I might not be able to. I mean, they're playing some good ball. I love Dylan Gabriel. I think he's the best college quarterback that's out there today. And so with all that being said, I'm going to stick to my initial prediction I had early in the year that I thought that when they played in Autzen, the Ducks would get them. They did. I thought they're going to play again on a neutral field, and I'm sticking with Ohio State, predicting it way back when. I was ready to get off that bandwagon after the Michigan debacle. They just looked like a team that hadn't seen all year. They obviously got some things straightened out before they played Tennessee, and that was a dominating performance in Tennessee. Will Howard, the whole team just looked different by his third throw. It's like, this is a different player. And they really seem like they got some things going. So Jim Knowles, he's as good as advertised. That defense is going to show up. And I think if this offense keeps playing, they get the ball to Jeremiah Smith, those running backs get loose, this team can win it all. Yeah, that offense didn't look scared at all against Tennessee. They were aggressive. That defense has been playing great all season long. Should be a good one, a sweet one, as a matter of fact. Speaking of sweet, I talk about the Sugar Bowl. Georgia will be without Carson Beck for the remainder of their season after the starting quarterback underwent surgery to repair the UCL in his right elbow. Beck was injured during the Bulldogs' SEC championship victory over Texas, so the redshirt sophomore Gunnar Stockton takes over under center for Georgia. Of course, Stockton came in to help them win the SEC championship game. So can Georgia overcome the loss of Beck and get the job done?
First off, shout out to Gunnar Stockton. Having to go in an SEC championship game, phenomenal job by him. I do believe Georgia can beat Notre Dame. I do not believe that Georgia can go to a national championship game. Gunnar Stockton has not proven at the collegiate level to be able to play at a high proficiency level, passing the football. Coach, if I'm a defensive line, I'm playing press man on the outside. I'm flat-footing my safety in the post. Gunnar Stockton, you're going to try to beat me running? Good luck. Georgia's defense, I believe, is good enough to maintain against Notre Dame. But see a high-powered offense like Oregon, Ohio State, I do not know if they can do it given their limited offensive quarterback passing the football. If it's any other team in this playoffs and they lose their starting quarterback, I'm like, they're done. There's one program that I have a hard time doubting, and that's Kirby Smart and those Bulldogs. I mean, they're going to play great defense. He almost wills them to win. They have extra time to prepare and get Gunnar Stockton ready to go. It's going to look different than it has, which might be their advantage. And I know this, they went to the national championship with a true freshman back in the day, Jake Fromm, lost to Alabama, and then they won 2 back-to-back with a walk-on quarterback, Stetson Bennett. So I don't doubt this guy ever. I mean, if someone can do it, it's probably those Kirby and those Georgia Bulldogs. No matter what the offense is doing, you know Georgia's defense is going to play, but Notre Dame's defense has been formidable this year as well. What's the over-under in that game? Like 20, maybe? Should be 12. Speaking of defenses, Penn State's defense has been phenomenal this season, a big reason why they're in the final 8 right now. You see what they've done in their wins. Now, notably, the rushing yards per game allowed, look at those. They're in the top 10 right now, rushing defense, but in their losses, they have given up over 179 yards per game on the ground. So what is the key for Boise State and Ashton Jeanty against Penn State to get that upset? That's all good, but the first thing that hits my mind is maybe a couple trick plays in that Fiesta Bowl to get them going, loosen them up a little bit. But I think you're right. It's going to come back to really Boise State's offensive line. Can they block that front 7 of Penn State? I mean, they've been tremendous all year, except for 2 games. They give up 175 yards in each of those losses. That's what Boise does. They run the ball. But the question is, can that Boise State offensive line cover up Abdul Carter and company? Because if they can, Ashton Jeanty's going to put his work in. He's going to get it done. And so that's what I'm really, really interested to see on that side of the ball. The other side of the ball, they're moving people around Penn State is, can Boise State get lined up correctly, make sure that they communicate with each other, and then create a turnover or 2 to get a short field for that offense? Because if you're just going toe-to-toe, matching up physical for physical, Penn State's got the advantage. So they're going to have to create something and turn over special teams, something like that. All right. Well, speaking of defense, Texas defense has been phenomenal this season. Let's look at that defense. Archer's getting excited. They look phenomenal against Clemson. The offense looked great, too. Top 3 in these major categories. So, hey, what's your confidence level going in their game against Arizona State, Archer, in the Peach Bowl? About as confident as I am that the sun will come up tomorrow. Is that a trick question, Mike? Okay. Texas is built for this game. They have a lot of bodies that they rotate up front so the defensive line does not get tired. What Arizona State does best with Scadaboo, you crack block with the wide receivers. That allows Scadaboo to get one-on-one with defensive backs. Problem. Texas's biggest hitters are their defensive backs. Remember, Makuba, number 4 for Texas, is the player that made Gunnar Stockton's head go from left to right, if y'all remember in that Georgia game. Texas's biggest hitters are in the secondary. So assume you want to get get one-on-one with the secondary, good luck. You're not going to find a weak link there. Not going to find a weak link at the defensive line, and you surely aren't going to find a weak link with Hill at linebacker. There are no weak links with the defense. That's why that defense is so highly ranked.
Okay, all right.
I like this Texas team. I think they're a dark horse if they're even that. You know, first of all, let's not forget, they went to the Final Four last year.
Yes,
so they've got experience. They're right there.
Absolutely.
They might be the most complete team. We talk about one team having a great defense or great. They're really pretty good on both.
Yeah.
This team could get it done.
Yeah, like a play away from going to the championship game last year as well. Washington got the job done there. Meanwhile, all right, that's the college football playoffs. We got bowl games, though. Navy's Blake Horvath ran wild against Oklahoma today. We'll show you if his performance was enough to end the similar season on a sour note. Kyle Williams still there. That wide receiver can get the job done. He's fast, too. Another 30-plus yard touchdown. His team, though, trailing by 14. You guys want some eggnog there? Chris Peterson, Emmanuel Acho, Mike Hill hanging out with you. Syracuse up 35-21 over Washington State at the half. Texas Tech has won bowl games in 3 straight seasons. Tonight, they put that streak on the line against Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl. Taylon Green doing damage, finding Desmond James. James doing the rest.
You got to like those 15-yard completions that go for, what, 90?
94. 36-19, Arkansas the lead in the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech, Vandy hasn't had a winning season since 2013, folks.
Vandy, to me, the scariest team in college football because you have the reputation of Vanderbilt, but, boy, when they get on that football field, they go crazy.
Diego Pavia, big reason why. Gritty, getting into the end zone. Vanderbilt, 7-6. They finished the campaign, 35-27 over Tech. Oklahoma, Navy, good one here. Oklahoma was up 14-0, but back came Navy. Blake Horvath, the big game.
This was a really good game. Navy really just stayed in it. Oklahoma, like you said, they jumped out early. You thought it was going to get ugly, a turnover on downs by Navy, but stayed consistent. End of the game, though, fireworks. Oklahoma converts on a 3rd and 17 penalty. Then they get into the end zone right here.
21-20, they go for 2. Good call.
Very good call because you want to end it here because you don't want to go into overtime against Navy and have to play red zone football with that offense that Navy has.
Navy wins. It gets its 10th win of the season, 21-20. Hey, college hoops is in full swing here on Fox. Tomorrow, don't miss a huge top 25 matchup between Gonzaga and UCLA. That's live from the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. That's at 4 Eastern on Fox. We have some sad news in the world of sports and television. Greg Gumbel, who spent more than 5 decades in sports broadcasting, has passed away due to cancer. Gumbel, the older brother of sportscaster Brian Gumbel, was a pioneer in the business. In 2001, he announced Super Bowl 35 for CBS, becoming the first black announcer in the U.S. to call play-by-play for a major sports championship. Greg Gumbel was 78 years old.
Welcome back to the 2024 Holiday Bowl in San Diego, sponsored by DirecTV. Stream football satellite free. San Diego, California, 35-21 our score as we head into the second half. Gus Johnson along with the QB, Joel Klatt. Welcome back to Diego. In that first half, Washington State getting off to a good start, but Kyle McCord and that Syracuse offense reels them in.
Yeah, they really did, and it was a lot of fireworks in that first half, wasn't it? Like a true Holiday Bowl. It was a true Holiday Bowl feel. And Zevi Eckhouse, who's starting quarterback for Washington State, he came out, as you mentioned, Gus, and he was really good early. 13 of 15, 176 yards, a touchdown. Did throw an interception, though, and there's some sense that he might have to be perfect the rest of the game. And the reason, Kyle McCord has been sensational. 15 of 23 for 218 and 3 touchdowns, and it just feels like Syracuse can kind of do whatever they want offensively, including run the ball. LaQuint Allen, they're back already over 100 yards in the first half. He's got 2 touchdowns. The Washington State defense is depleted on the defensive line, and this Syracuse team, which wasn't a great running team in this regular season, came out and they ran it incredible in this first half. They've already had 13 plays of 15 yards or more. They have been so efficient. Already 364 yards of offense, 9.1 yards per play. And that's why Washington State's going to have to basically be perfect on offense. I just don't think that they can punt in this second half and feel like they can come back and win this game.
Cougars will get the ball to start the second half, and the second half underway here in San Diego at the Holiday Bowl. Into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go downstairs and check in with the AAG, the All-American girl, Jenny Tech.
Well, as you may expect, Gus, Fran Brown was really happy with what they're doing offensively. You talked about those 364 total yards of offense, but he said we still need to get more points on the board. Now, he did want to address some things with special teams and wanted to build off that big fourth down stop before the break, and he said we need to handle Kyle Williams because he is an impressive player. I also asked interim head coach Pete Calligas about Kyle Williams. He said we got to keep him hot, but to do that, our defense needs to be better. They're beating us 1v1. Got to find pressure on them.
All right, Jen, on first down. Incomplete pass for Zevi Eckhouse. Eckhouse in that first half, 13 of 15, 176 yards, a touchdown, an interception, a long of 66 yards. Brings up second down and 10. As you look at that quarterback comparison, both of them playing extremely well. Here's the pitch. Pulalasi. He'll lean forward, get close to the first down.
Good job splitting those defenders on that short side. And now they have got to convert here. And again, in the first half, what really worked for them was those short routes and then the RPO passing game. And Eckhouse is a guy that is very smart. He's going to check the play at the line of scrimmage, and then he needs to read the defense post-snap. But in a situation like this offensive line just has to get off the ball, win the line of scrimmage, and convert.
Third down and 1. And they'll run it for the first down. Eckhouse leaning forward.
There's Devin Kalani, the center, number 70, and he just ran through it and didn't actually get anybody to block. But their quarterback, Eckhouse, just barely got enough. Kalani was such a breath of fresh air to talk to. A guy that has been a Coug fan his entire life, has really persevered through a number of different injuries in his career and playing really good football.
Play fake. Eckhouse, oh, he dropped that one right in the bucket. Josh Meredith ran a great route, and Eckhouse put it on him, gain of 22.
Gus, remember in the first half I was talking about types of throws, drive the ball, layer the ball. This is a layered throw over defenders and underneath other defenders. You've got to put it in a bucket, but it can't be a soft touch throw. That is a beautiful example of a layered throw down the middle of the field from Zevi Eckhouse. Beautifully done.
Opening series for Washington State. First down at the 43. Pulalasi. And he'll gain about 6. Deion Wilson Jr. with the tackle. Make that 4. Deion Wilson Jr. with the tackle.
And this defense is a defense that really struggled against the run. They were 125th in the country in terms of yards before contact defensively, and they allowed over 5 yards per carry this season. Now, Washington State hasn't been great running the football, only 3.7 per, but there are some of those runs that have been able to spring forward for 4.
Second down and 6, near side, caught out of bounds. Hernandez. And this Washington State offense, they really know how to spread the ball around. Almost looks like a basketball team.
Yeah, ball is going, it's right, it's left, it's Williams, it's Hernandez, it's Pulalesi, it's all over the field, and you got to give Nick Edwards some credit. Remember, Nick Edwards, who's the normal wide receiver coach, he's the play caller tonight. This is the first time he's had an opportunity to call these plays, and he's done a really nice job. And I think right now, Nick Edwards is thinking to himself, he's got 2 downs to convert here. I think they're 4-down territory.
Third down and 4 at the 37. Eckhouse. Looking. Eckhouse delivers. And caught. No, incomplete. Knocked down at the last moment. Kyle Williams was the target. And that brings up 4th down and 4. And I believe there's a late flag.
Yeah, Justin Barron was in coverage there, number 8. He's been dealing with that kind of nose injury all night long. But after he broke that pass up, he celebrated kind of right in the face of Williams, and it looked like that's when the flag came out.
Add to the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 8. First of the game. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You know, you see this move all the time, this idea like you're locking him up, right? You lock him up like that, but he's staring right at Williams and doing it right in his face, and that's why the umpire threw the flag. If he turns and does that away from the opposing player, he's going to be fine. But when you stare him down like that, and almost like an instigating type of mode.
And why would you do that to Williams? He's got 5 catches for 125 yards and a touchdown.
I was going to say, no one's locking him down yet. You know, maybe on that play.
First down and 10 at the 22. Schlenbaker. And I tell you what, Joel, I don't think Washington State needs to look into the transfer portal for a quarterback this year.
Well, listen, this is why
this kid is good.
It's such a great opportunity. It was last year on the, well, it wasn't this field, but it was in this game. We were over in Petco. USC came out against Louisville, and Miller Moss played great in that game. Led him to a victory and really kind of solidified his stamp as the starter. Now, he's since moved on to the portal from USC, but Zevi is making a great case tonight.
Sprints out of the pocket, squares his shoulders, and goes down. Great job by the Syracuse defense. Dennis Jaquez Jr. with the tackle and a loss of 6.
Yeah, Jaquez Jr. does a great job here of not only taking away the outside for Zevi Eckhouse, but then holding on once Eckhouse tried to get back to his inside. And now on third down, you know, you can't kick field goals and win this game. Syracuse's offense is likely not going to be stopped unless you can get some sort of turnover. So again, I still feel like they're kind of 4-down territory here for Washington State.
Third down and 12 at the 24. Eckhouse, another sprint out on the move, and that one thrown short to Kyle Williams. So that brings up 4th down and long.
Yeah, I don't know at this length. I think now you have to kick it. That was probably going to be just a touch short. Kyle Williams trying to get the chains and just a ball that was poorly thrown from Eckhouse as he was rolling to his right.
So that brings on Dean Janikowski. And Janikowski on the season 8 for 11 with a long of 52 yards. This one from 41 yards away. Good snap, clean hold, got it up, and no good. The score remains 35-21. Washington State with a chance to put points on the board. But this one a little wide left. These two teams have met once before. In 1979, the game took place in Orchard Park, New York, home of the NFL's Buffalo Bills. Tom Coughlin was the offensive coordinator for the Orange, and they beat the Cougars 52-25. Tom Coughlin went on to coach at Boston College as the head coach at Jacksonville in the NFL, and then win 2 world championships with the New York Football Giants. I remember calling games rather for Syracuse when I first started, Joel, with a man by the name of Dick McPherson.
McPherson. And some might say, like, wasn't it McPherson?
No.
Why is that?
Because there's no fear in McPherson.
Oh, that's so good.
Coach Mack, rest in peace. Play action, McCord throws it deep. McCord. Oh, what a throw! What a catch! Kyle McCord just laced one to Darrell Gill Jr. 50 yards.
And I think that might have done it right there. He needed 50 yards to set the single-season ACC record. They went for broke here, and Gill stayed on his feet just long enough that might have done it. What a throw from Kyle McCord. We've seen the back shoulder throw, and now the touch throw out in front. Beautiful job from number 6.
First down and 10 at the 26. McCord to throw again under pressure. Lobs this one up, and Pena just high-pointed the ball, grabs it, and pulls it down. And Coach Braun was interesting. He thanked Ryan Day. He said, Ryan Day, thank you for sending us Kyle McCord.
And how about that? And now he's had the most prolific passing season in the history of the ACC, which is just incredible when you think of the names that have gone through the ACC. Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Deshaun Watson, and Kyle McCord stands above them all. The greatest single season throwing the football in the ACC's history. What a year.
And you keep talking about it, Joel, and you're 100% right. Fit.
Yeah.
He fits here.
He does, and he fits with Fran Brown, you know, and what they're doing offensively. And by the way, I've also got to give a ton of credit, and we haven't mentioned him yet, Jeff Nixon, the offensive coordinator. He's been tremendous for them. And I love his background. Jeff Nixon, the play caller. He's been a running back coach in the NFL, both with the Giants and Panthers, with a guy like Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. I think that's why he does such a good job for guys like Pena, like we just saw here, number 2, and LaQuint Allen more specifically, because he understands how to get those guys, those creative slot back style players, and create opportunities for them.
There he is.
I'll tell you, Jeff Nixon has done a heck of a job, and he also got his start kind of under Matt Rule. He was a teammate of Matt Rule at Penn State, coached with him at Temple and then at Baylor. He was also a tight end coach for Chip Kelly. And so you see those influences, right, Gus, in everything they do offensively. You see the pro-style spread attack, and all they needed was a trigger man. And McCord comes in, and he solidified that position, the leadership at that position, and they haven't looked back.
2nd down and 17 after the 7-yard loss. McCord, and it's incomplete. Meeks had an inside position on the defender, but that one thrown a little high and wide. Stephen Hall in coverage.
And they are such a difficult team to defend, and it's because they can threaten you everywhere on the field, and that's why Allen and Gadsden are so important to what they do.
Their losses are very interesting. 26-24 to Stanford. 41-13 to Pitt when McCord threw the 5 picks and the 3 pick sixes. And then 37-31 loss at Boston College.
Yeah, McCord threw a late pick against Stanford, and Stanford completed a late 4th down. Boston College, they've got a chance to win that game. I mean, this is almost a season of what could have been. Whoa, big hit on the far side.
Some good hitting going on this time as Willis makes the catch, but Parker McKenna is there to drop him immediately. No gain.
I mean, listen to this hit on the side. Parker McKenna, and this is a guy that's getting an opportunity. Alukda, excuse me, Tariq Alukda. He was in the transfer portal, so Parker McKenna gets a chance to play, and he's played well.
So this will be a 39-yard attempt. It is up and good. Is it? No, no good. (35-21) Kennedy pushing it. Bad snap. Knuckleball. 35-20. You're looking at Fadil Diggs, one of the best defenders on this Syracuse team. He's banged up, unable to play this evening. And, you know, Mr. Diggs, they say he's heading to the NFL after this season. He's got his gold, his diamonds on.
But where are his earrings at?
Yeah, how's he going to have all that, no diamonds on and no earrings?
Got 8 necklaces, no earrings.
What's going on? Unbelievable.
Did he run out?
Yeah, he ran out of money. He'll get it next year. First down at 10 of the 21.
Oh, man.
That is jewelry. Eckhouse leading the way for Washington State. Done a fine job. First start of the year. Quick strike, far side. Caught Josh Meredith. Gain of a couple.
They've got really good pieces, but the player that they have to get the football to create points and explosive plays is Kyle Williams, number 2. And Syracuse is keying on him. And I've noticed a bit of a change in the defensive structure, and they've got guys on top of Kyle Williams on almost every play.
3rd down and 2. Eckhouse Looking for that first down, and he has it. And even more. Wow, some powerful running by Trey Lechner, the redshirt freshman from the state of Washington, gains 13.
I really like him, man. He's a really good kind of flex, big H-back tight end style player. He's clearly good with the football, knows what to do with it after the catch, and he's had a nice night.
First down at the 42. Washington State refusing to die. Here's a handoff. Pulalasi. And he just drives his legs into the sideline and gains 4. Second down and 6 at the 46. Eckhouse drops it off. Pulalasi breaks the tackle, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Finally brought down by Deion Wilson Jr.
Well, now another one of these third down opportunities, and this Washington State team, you know, they've tried to run it. They've tried to run the quarterback. They've been pretty creative. And again, this is a team without their quarterback, John Mateer, who led the country in total touchdowns, but they have played well tonight. This is a crucial snap here.
Third down and 5 at the 47. They're 4 of 9 on third down conversions. Eckhouse wings it out. Can they get the first? No! A terrific defensive play by Davian Kerr, the freshman from Bloomfield, Connecticut.
That is a great tackle by Kerr. Just a freshman, like you said, and brings him down to the edge. And now Washington State will bring in an extra offensive lineman. Ashton Tripp, number 71, runs onto the field. They've got 6 offensive linemen. They'll go big. And Coach Caligas, he's going for it on fourth down.
Out of the I formation. Quarterback run. They push him forward. And Washington State says they have the first down.
Needed to get all the way to the 48. Looked like he did. Gets a little bit of a help here. There's Lechner again, so he can catch out of the backfield. And look at Lechner is giving him that Pullman push.
I like that.
Coach Caligas is going to have to continue to be aggressive. I think he knows that, right? With the way that Syracuse can move the ball, and that was a fortunate stop on the last series for Washington State's defense. Every time that they cross the 50, man, this is 4-down territory for the Cougs.
First down at the 48. Pulalasi. Coach Caligas, speaking of him, he's been an interim head coach before. He was the interim head coach for one game at Wyoming in 2012, a 45-14 loss to Boise State. What do you think about Boise State in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, I think everyone is excited to see Ashton Genty, play in the playoffs after the season that he has had. I think that their matchup is a tough one, though, against Penn State, who is playing unreal.
Flag on the play.
Penn State's coming into their own. We've always wondered, like, what could Penn State be at their best? They're playing their best football right now. They looked
that defense
fast, right?
Offside. Defense, number 88. 5-yard penalty will remain second down.
Got him on the jump here. There's the jump right over the ball. Good snap by Kalani. It's not a planned snap. As soon as he jumps, he's in the neutral zone, snaps the football, and the quarterback knows take a shot on the outside. Just so happens Kyle Williams slipped on the outside.
Second down and 4 at the 42. Pulalasi, the pistol back. Eckhouse rolls out. And incomplete. Looks like he had his receiver. It's right off his hands for Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, and I believe that was Kerr again in coverage, if I'm not mistaken. Davian Kerr, number 25, it is. Look at him get all the way inside and kind of into the passing zone. just kind of disrupts the timing for Hernandez and can't bring it in. Eckhouse frustrated by that one.
3rd and 4 at the Syracuse 42. Empty backfield for Zevi Eckhouse. He'll throw it. Taking his time. On the move. Hernandez. Sprint. Touchdown. Washington State. 42 yards. The Cougars are in business again. Zevi Eckhouse, folks. Skink can play.
Tell you, this is like playing in the park over in Culver City right here. Watch Eckhouse. He's going to look left, and it's not there. So now he's got to find some sort of time and space. And look at him. Doesn't panic. And as right here, he just sees a little bit of an open space, and Hernandez takes off down the middle of the field. What a beautiful little flip throw from Eckhouse, and Hernandez ends in the end zone. Wow.
Janikowski for the extra point. And it's good. We've got a ball game, folks. 2:06 to go in the 3rd. Washington State behind Zevi Eckhouse, making his first start, putting up numbers, and the Cougs are right in it. For 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing. Hernandez has a career-high 8 catches. His previous high was 7 against Oregon State in 2023. And, folks, we are over 750 yards in total offense combined.
Yeah, now it's a Holiday Bowl.
Yes. Just the way we like it. Willis back deep. Janikowski sends it away. Willis inside his own 10. Willis with running room. Willis at the 40. Willis still on the move and goes out of bounds as he crosses midfield. A 43-yard return. Janikowski ushers him out of play. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl on Fox is sponsored by Edward Jones. Syracuse has had some notable players named the MVP of bowl games, including Jim Brown in the '57 Cotton Bowl. Brown is a member of both the Pro Football and College Football Hall of Fames. While at Syracuse, he played basketball, track, and is considered the greatest lacrosse player in the history of the game of lacrosse. Jim Brown, his number 44 is retired. Last player to wear number 44, Rob Conrad, on Donovan McNabb's, Marvin Harrison's team. Back in the 90s, late 90s, 97, 98, around that time. Kyle McCord, a Heisman candidate, finished 10th. Breaking records in his first year at the Q's. Such a rich tradition of college football at Syracuse. First down and 10 at the 49. Here's a handoff, and it's Allen who'll pick up some. But when you look at Syracuse football, think about this, Joe. They have one Heisman winner, Ernie Davis, back in 1960. First African-American to ever win the Heisman Trophy. But look at the NFL Hall of Famers. Jim Brown, Jim Ringo, Larry Zonka, John Mackey, who the tight end trophy is named after in college football. Al Davis, there's a 44. Art Monk, Floyd Little, Marvin Harrison, Dwight Freeney. Legends. Near side throw. Pena breaks it away with a burst and a touchdown for the Qs. 45 yards. Jim Brown, rest in peace, would be happy to watch that one.
Tell you, great block in front of him. This is Jackson Meeks, one of their star receivers. Check out that block. Beautiful job, and then Pena does the rest. Check out the speed. Just a little bit of a delay or a stutter, and then he just takes off right there. There's that bit of a delay, and then he's down the sideline and into the end zone.
Extra point up and good. 42-28. Pena. 5 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns with a long of 45. Another quick score for Syracuse, this time 49 seconds.
and they can just hurt you in so many different ways. Obviously, LeQuint Allen has had a big night running the football, over 100 yards, 7.5 per carries, and 2 touchdowns. But then you look on the outside, and it's like, who do you defend? Who do you take away? Gadsden's got 4 catches, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pena, 5 for 70, 2 touchdowns. McCord's got 4 through the air. And they've still got Jackson Meeks, who's their best downfield threat. There's just no way that a defense, and in particular a depleted one, can go out there and take all these players away. That's why they're one of the best offenses in college football. They have been so good all year long. Big reason why they're 9 wins now, looking for 10 in Fran Brown's first year.
McCord, 20 of 29, 315 yards passing. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. 42-28. Smithson. Galloping. Crosses the 45-yard line. A 47-yard return. Trumbull with the tackle on special teams. Kyle McCord, Joel, one of the stories surrounding Kyle and the Syracuse program is that he is petitioning to maybe get another year.
Yeah, he does. And his first his first request was denied. Now they're petitioning that and going back and trying to get that. And to be honest, you know, Kyle still has to make a decision whether he wins that, whether he would play again or not, versus potentially going to the National Football League and the evaluation of what that would look like.
Sure hope the NCAA grants him 1 more year. Looks like he kind of wants to come back.
Kyle Williams right there. He got kind of rolled up on number 2 and then kind of went down grabbing that left knee and hobbled off the field. That is not what you want to see playing his last game in a Cougar uniform. He has been remarkable.
From Inglewood, California, 2nd down and 12 at the 45. Pulalasi stood up. He'll gain a yard.
Looks like Williams will go get checked out, and he's certainly their most dangerous receiver. Now, they've had guys step up. Carlos Hernandez has had a really nice night for them on the outside, but without Williams, you know, they're struggling. They're going way down the depth. Chris Hudson is out. He's in the transfer portal. Trey Shackelford is in the transfer portal.
3rd down and 11. Flag on the play. Sidearm throw. Deflected and incomplete. Dangerous pass for Eckhouse.
Offside. Defense. Number 6, also number 11. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
I think that's why he just kind of flipped it out there, you know, because he knew that he had a free play. Normally you'd love to see that ball go down the field, but they're flipping it out on the outside.
James Hurd got a hand on that football. Makes it 3rd down and 6. And that should take us, this should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Eckhouse over the middle, caught close to a 1st down. I don't think they have it, and it's Josh Meredith. We'll see. End of the 3rd. 1 more quarter coming up in regulation. Syracuse on top of Washington State, 42-28. The 24 Holiday Bowl in San Diego, sponsored by DirecTV. Stream football satellite free. What a great game. 42-28. Lot of high flying, electric, dynamic scoring. Syracuse on top of the Cougars. Another big day for Kyle McCord. McCord has his 12th 300-yard game of the season in 13 games. His only game he didn't throw for 300 was a win over Virginia Tech when he had 280. We're over 800 yards to go with our 70 points. 4th down and a yard for the Cougars. And they'll run it Pullman push, as you call it, Joel. Looks like they have that first down.
Since we name it for every city, right? Brotherly shove, the Pullman push. There's Lechner again. Another sneak. It's the push on the Palouse.
I like that.
Maybe that's what we'll go with.
Well, you're like Walt Clyde Frazier today. You're just rhyming, styling, profiling, swishing, and dishing. First down and 10 at the 43. Eckhouse sprints out. Turns. Intercepted. They were waiting for that one. Jaleel Martin. Second interception of the evening for Zevi Eckhouse. And Coach Brown will take it.
Martin played this absolutely perfectly. Watch as they're going to try to get Kyle Williams on this little wheel route, but there's nothing to hold Jaleel Martin underneath. There's no Washington State player, so he does exactly what he should do. You talk about detailed play, is he sinks in coverage. There's no one to hold him there. He sinks back right into the lap of Kyle Williams, and Eckhouse threw it right to him. What a great play from Jaleel Martin.
Syracuse takes over deep in Washington State territory. McCord. And McCord is sacked. Great pressure. This time it's Nusi Malani. A loss of 6.
Well, that's the first real quality pass rush we've seen just like right away from Washington State. McCord just had no time, and he got taken down awkwardly. Watch Gus as you get on him, and Malani kind of goes in. Look at that left leg. It got caught up, and thankfully McCord bounced right back up. But, boy, that did not look good when he went down.
Malani, 265 pounds.
Ball start. Offense, number 1. 5-yard penalty remains second down.
That's the Quinn Allen.
Man, going backwards, aren't they, in this series? This is exactly what Washington State needs. 2-possession game. Got to get the ball back as quickly as they can. And Syracuse has been able to just march up and down the field. But now, backed up all the way like this, Gus, second and 21, it takes away their ability to run the football, which they've done so well. And so now, if you're Washington State, you can just sink into coverage, play guys over the top, in particular of a guy like Gadsden, who's in the slot. He's had a big day. There's Gadsden in motion.
McCord. Over the middle, incomplete. He had his receiver, Trevor Pena. But Pena takes his eyes off the football and just drops it.
If you're nitpicking, it's a touch high, but Pena's got to catch that ball. A great concept. They motion Gadsden over the far side and then send everybody on go routes. And with a 3-by-1, 3 receivers on one side, 1 on the other, this is called all-go special. So you're trying to get these seam routes in the middle, and that crosser is always there, and you can find him as a quarterback, and that was just overthrown.
Third down and 21 at the 17. Empty backfield. McCord shuffling, steps into his throw, down the field. The 35. Once again, Darrell Gill Jr. 49 yards.
Set him up perfectly, because as McCord rolls out, he fakes like he's running the out route, which they've done all night. And so the defense bites, and then he takes off on the double move, and the ball just got there before the safety did. And Darrell Gill again, a long pass down the field. Wow, what a night for Gill.
Some gaudy numbers being put up by Kyle McCord as Allen picks up a first, shredding the Washington State defense. Finally tackled by Malani after a gain of 15.
I'll tell you what, listen to the physical run. I mean, he's just welcoming everybody. He's just like, let's go. Come on, boys, get in here. It's like, what we used to call that, bull in a ring. We used to practice that back in the day. I don't think they do that anymore.
I don't think so either. First down and 10 at the 18. Play fake, McCord. Underneath, caught. Another first down, this time Jackson Meeks. Gains 14 4. Just pitching and catching now.
And Meeks with a great little move to get separation. And look at that ball, man. I'm telling you, on time, on target. You hear me, Gus, talk about this all the time. Quarterbacks that are really good, they're on time, on target. That's certainly what McCord is.
McCord, 22 of 32. As Allen, who he tackled for a loss. But Kyle McCord, 22 of 32, 378. 4 touchdowns, along of 50. No interceptions.
They have been up and down the field. Up and down the field. And remember, at one point on this series, they were 2nd and 21 before getting that long pass completion to Darrell Gill.
Now McCord will split out wide. Wildcat formation. Allen takes the snap. Hops through the hole. And lean forward after a 2-yard pickup.
I mean, this defense, I know they haven't stopped Syracuse a lot tonight, but I mean, you got to credit the effort. I mean, these guys, they're totally depleted. They don't have defensive tackles. Their secondary has been depleted by the transfer portal. There's not a lot of depth. But man, this offense is just overwhelming at times in the way that they can attack you.
McCord back at quarterback. Allen back at running back. 3rd and goal. McCord. And McCord sacked at the 15. Great pressure being applied by this Washington State team. And this time it's Quinn Roth.
What a sack for Roth, because Roth went to high school in San Marcos, just north of San Diego. So this is a bit of a homecoming for him. And now he gets to imagine how many Holiday Bowls he's watched at home with his family growing up here just north of San Diego. And now he gets a big sack right there on a 3rd down.
So they come in to attempt the field goal. This time it is good for Jackson Kennedy. 45-28. Syracuse. 9 minutes and 19 seconds away from their 10th win of the season.
Pacific Life Game Summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Well, Zevi Eckhouse, he has tried to bring this Washington State team back. Beautiful ball to Hernandez for the touchdown, brought him within a score, but then Kyle McCord and this Syracuse offense, they have been absolutely electric, and a record-setting night for Kyle McCord. He is now the single-season leader in terms of passing yards in ACC history. And he has, I tell you, put in a dynamic performance tonight. 22 of 32, 379, 4 touchdowns, and 45 points here midway through the 4th quarter.
Smithson. And he finds a lane, dives forward, gets to the 30. 533 yards of total offense for Syracuse, up 45-28. Welcome back, folks. 45-28 our score, 9:12 to go. That young man, he's battled adversity during his college career, leaving Ohio State. He lost 1 game with the Buckeyes. And basically they kind of ran him out of town. They said he wasn't a guy. Transferred to Syracuse, and what a year it's been. Leads the nation in passing. Right now he's throwing for 379 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. His QB rating 209.5. I think that's pretty good, right?
I would think so. I think so.
Eckhouse with the pitch. Chris Barnes trying to get outside.
You know, there's a bunch of players out here for Washington State. You know, Josh Meredith is one of them. Chris Barnes is one of them who just got that ball right there. You know, that are in the portal, but entered the portal after Jake Dickert decided to go to Wake Forest. And so as the team voted, they They said, oh, well, listen, you're good to play in the game. And they're out here just playing for their brothers.
Here's a ball thrown up and caught at the 42-yard line. Guess who it is? Kyle Williams, who went out moments ago with a knee injury, back on the field making big plays.
Yeah, thankfully, because it didn't look good when he left with that knee injury, but it looks like he's fine there. And just a breakdown in coverage, a missed assignment, nobody over the top. Williams was wide open. Eckhouse finds him, and Williams is having a monster game. That's 152 yards receiving.
And a touchdown. 29 on that reception. First down. Hand off. Pulalasi breaking tackles, cuts it inside. Still on the move. Leo Pulalasi. This time gains 19.
And this offense has been really good today. You know, you think about not having their quarterback. Zevi Eckhouse threw 7 passes this year. They were against Portland State August 31st. He's come out here and he's played well. So with as well as McCord and the Syracuse offense has played, you know, credit to Washington State the way that they've fought on this side.
First down at the 24. Pulalasi again. Gains 1.
Gus Zevi Eckhouse is a senior, but because he only played in basically 2 games, he can retain that red shirt. So he can red shirt, which is why he can come back to Wazoo next year.
Eckhouse. And what's the rule on that? He's listed as a senior.
Yeah, but he has a red shirt. You know, so he hasn't redshirted in his career, and you can play up to 4 games and retain your red shirt year, and he has not exceeded that. So he's got a red shirt available to him. He can take that this year and come back and finish out his eligibility next year.
First down at the 14. Play fake. Eckhouse in the end zone and broken up at the last minute. Williams was the intended receiver, but Greg Delane was there defensively.
Yeah, good play from Greg Delane. You talked about, like, how do you defend the back shoulder fade right like this? Look at him get right into the face and just take away the catching area, that arm right up in between the arms from Delane. That's a great job from the redshirt sophomore.
Second down and 10 at the 14-yard line. Pulalasi in the backfield with Zevi Eckhouse. Washington State refusing to die. Plenty of time left. 6:28. Eckhouse bouncing. Eckhouse runs it. He's got a burst. Eckhouse. First down. Cougars. But a flag. Chestnut with the tackle.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Remains second down.
As he was bouncing in the pocket, just a grab in there on the interior. And that's right where Eckhouse was trying to leave the pocket. And this offensive line, which has done a pretty good job tonight, right there, gets called for that hold.
So that'll make it second down and 20 at the 24. Williams in motion. Zevi Eckhouse goes through his progression, drops it off. Pulalasi. That's a 4-yard gain. Jaleel Martin with the tackle.
Just not enough time now. This is what Syracuse has done a great job of on this defensive series, is just keeping guys in front of them. After that one slip up, a missed assignment, Williams got behind the defense. Ever since then, they've just kept everybody in front and that clock moving. And with this score, there's just not enough time.
5:23 and counting. Eckhouse dancing in the pocket, reverses, throws as he gets hit, and incomplete. Hernandez, the intended receiver, but that ball broken up at the last moment by Clarence Lewis. And it makes it 4th down and 16. So the field goal unit comes on. Dean Janikowski will attempt one. "37 yards officially." And he hooked it. 45-28, the score remains. Syracuse on their way to their 10th win of the season. They're 5-0-2 away.
And keep on wishing. Remember your dream. You're on the street. So keep on pushing.
What you know about that Curtis Mayfield right there? Move on up. You know anything about that? 70s?
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything about that?
I was born in '82, man. You know, like
move on up, man.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. First down at the 20-yard line. And Pena tried to stay in bounds. Clock on Syracuse's side. Kyle McCord, just so happy for this young man.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be around him a lot. You know, we obviously we do a lot of Buckeye games, as everyone knows. So we were around him a lot, and you know, listen, it didn't work out, okay? And for whatever reason, I don't think that's anybody's fault, and it certainly wasn't Kyle's fault. And he found a great spot for him, and he's better for it. Syracuse is better for it.
Meeks breaks a tackle, keeps moving on the rise down the sideline and out of bounds finally around the 25. Jackson Meeks, what a season Jackson is having, young man from Phoenix City, Alabama. Georgia transfer.
This guy, I tell you what, he wanted that 1,000-yard season, and he just got it. Meeks got a 1,000-yard season, came with Fran Brown from Georgia, and this is a guy that, you know, he had such a special year. He came into this game with 73 catches, 911 yards, and 7 touchdowns, and now he goes over 100 on the night, 115. What a season he's had.
They drop it off near side. Allen galloping. Allen, touchdown, Syracuse. LaQuinn Allen, 33 yards, and the Orange will win their 10th game of the season.
Tell you, man, what a threat it is to have a back as versatile as LaQuinn Allen. Catches it, great block on the outside. That's Jalen Hornsby, number 3. He just gets enough of the defensive back. I believe that was Stephen Hall. Or no, excuse me, that was Jamari Colson. And Allen does the rest. And I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, Jeff Nixon, the offensive coordinator, his history with Saquon Barkley with the Giants last year, and then previous to that with the Panthers with Christian McCaffrey, you can see that come to fruition because they understand how to use LaQuinn Allen and his skill set and his versatile skill set and what a threat he can be from the running back position.
Now let's go downstairs and check in with Jenny.
Well, boy, when you score touchdowns that easy, I want to tell you stories about everyone. First with LaQuinn Allen. I mean, Coach Brown calls him the heart of this team, the toughest player on the team, the glue of this offense. He said if everyone played as hard as we would be something special. And then with Jackson Meeks, you guys talked about him coming over, obviously coming with Coach Brown. He told me, Kyle McCord changed my life. He said, don't tell him to his face, but you can tell him during the game. That guy has meant so much to this offense, to this entire team. I'm watching this group smiling, embracing. It has been a special season for Syracuse that they are celebrating tonight.
All right, 52-28. McCord, 450 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. Allen, 165 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Meeks, 110 receiving yards. And he goes over 1,000 for the season. And then there's Gill, 145 receiving yards. What a night for Syracuse. And they're going to be, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow, partying at Grimaldi's.
That's exactly right.
One of the great restaurants in all of college football. Top 3, Grimaldi's. Now don't forget Sunday, it's an NFL double.
To do, and Fran Brown is about to do. First of all, they had 59 newcomers to this team, whether they were transfers or recruits. And, you know, that's 5th highest among Power 4 teams. So they had to totally change a culture, find an identity, and they found it. And they're about to do something. Coach Fran Brown is about to do something that has only been done for the second time since World War II. And that's win 10 games in a coach's first season at Syracuse. That happened in 1991 with Paul Pasqualoni. And that's what Fran Brown has done with this program. And I tell you, before the year, there was some talk about, like, hey, I tell you, you know, if Syracuse can put it together with that schedule, you know, they can do some damage, and they certainly did. But what I'm most impressed with about Fran Brown is that they won so many one-score games. Gus, they were 7-2 in one-score games this year. 9 of them they played. 7-2. You don't do that unless you're well coached and you understand situations. When you've got a coach that understands those details and a quarterback that can execute in the clutch, you can win those tight one-possession games. And that's exactly what Syracuse has done this year.
Washington State will not give up. Josh Joyner, freshman from Oxnard, California, running the ball, getting some burn here in the Holiday Bowl with 2:58 remaining. Eckhouse on the move, incomplete. That ball may have been deflected at the end.
You look forward for Syracuse, and obviously a lot of momentum. These bowl games can supercharge your offseason. We'll see about the future for Kyle McCord, appealing the NCAA decision, but also has a decision of his own to make about his future and whether he goes to the National Football League. And then you look at, you know, what this team is going to face next year, and I'll be honest, like, their road will be much tougher next season based on the schedule that they'll see versus the one that they saw this year.
Eckhouse pulls it down, drops it off, first down.
Just to give you an idea, you know, like, next year they have to travel to Notre Dame, Clemson, Miami, Georgia Tech, and SMU. Ooh. You know, so that's a far different story than it was this year. But I tell you, the foundation has been laid for a successful program year over year.
Eckhouse over the middle, caught. This time it's Schlenbaker. And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes remaining, 52-28 Syracuse, leading Washington State. Back to San Diego Snapdragon Stadium right after this. Last week, the first ever 12-team college football playoff kicked off with all of the home teams, Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas, and Ohio State advancing. Partner, I got to tell you, I sat home watching those games. I was so jealous. It's so exciting to watch this playoff. I mean, incredible.
I loved every minute of it. And listen, home teams should win, right? I mean, like, the better teams got to host. It's tough to win on the road in college football. What did we expect? Everyone making this like an indictment on the losing teams. I tell you, the home teams played great. I thought it was fantastic. It was a great weekend of college football.
That ball thrown to the far side and caught. What I loved about it more than anything, SMU, Tennessee having to go play in cold weather. Yeah. SEC teams finally playing a game in cold weather.
Yeah, how'd that work out for them?
You're that's
I will tell you this, though. I knew Ohio State was going to run them out of the building when they ran out there with that fake toughness with their shirts off and started warming up. I was like, oh, okay, Buckeyes got this.
Here's that guy rolling out of the pocket. He's played a terrific game. That was incomplete. So who do you like to win it? Who you calling?
Man, it's such a tough question because, listen, Penn State, we talked about Penn State's playing really well right now, and they've got maybe an easier path. I just think, like, the winner of that Rose Bowl, Ohio State and Oregon, I think that's going to be the best team in the country. And so I'm going to go with the winner of the Rose Bowl wins it all.
I'm telling you who I'm going to take.
Who are you taking?
I'm going with the Texas Longhorns.
Ooh, okay.
Sark's got those boys popping. Over the middle, caught first down.
Tell you what I loved from them.
What?
Their offensive line play. Their ability to run that rock, man.
They were running it, weren't they?
And they withstood by far the best road quarterback performance of anybody, you know, in the first round, because Kate Klubnik played really well in that game. I mean, he, at times it felt like he was putting a cape on his back. But I was excited for it. I think that the expansion of the playoff has made the sport better. It made more teams relevant at the top end. It was frustrating, some of the, you know, comments
but
made. The seams were great, man. The environments were great, weren't they?
I tell you what, give the College Football Playoff Committee a whole lot of credit. I believe they got it right.
There you go.
Okay. Eckhouse lobs it up. And incomplete. That ball broken up at the last minute. 29 seconds remaining in this game.
Gus, we've given the flowers to that far side, and rightly so. This Syracuse team played really well. They had a great year. Congratulations to them. I would just say this. If you're a Cougar fan out there, you should be so proud of what these kids did tonight.
They played extremely hard and well.
They had coaches leaving. They had other players leaving, and they went out there for each other. And they wanted to do, and Pete Callaghan did a wonderful job in this interim role, bringing them together, giving the team to the players, and they wanted to go out there and play with their brothers one last time. And their performance was so admirable. I mean, heck, Kyle Williams just set a Holiday Bowl record with 172 yards receiving tonight. You know, they fought against a team that's about to win 10 games. So, Coug Nation, be proud of this team. And I hope that they get the right guy in there and the right fit in there.
And hopefully, Coach Callaghan will get an opportunity to maybe lead them
We'll see. We'll see. And I'll tell you this. In college football, it can happen quick. Look at what Syracuse has done. Look at what Colorado did. Look at what Indiana did. Look at what Arizona State has done. Like, you know, you get the right person in there and the right players and the right seats on the bus, and it can happen quickly.
Another completion for Washington State. Chris Barnes. Clock stops momentarily. 21 seconds to go.
I mean, I just love the sport. I was proud of this team tonight.
I was too. I tell you what, they did us a good job.
Yeah,
because they gave us a great game to call.
They did. They did. The emotion that Coach had with Ginny in that between quarter interview. I mean, he almost got choked up just talking about the players. And they're doing this for each other. Man, I tell you, and Nick, I will tell you this. Kyle Thornton, their linebacker, number 52. We didn't get a chance to talk about him a lot. But when we talked to Kyle Thornton, he put it amazing. He said, listen, I still think that a vital part of this game is that we as young men learn how to be part of something bigger than ourselves. And they were tonight. And for that, we should all be very thankful and very proud of these Cougars.
15 seconds to go. Eckhouse in the end zone and caught for a touchdown. Ganesha Morthy with the touchdown.
Well, throw me more of these. Good move right there. Zevi has played really well. Fran getting some guys in there. Chance to play as well. And Washington State, as you would expect, fought right to the end.
And look at the numbers Zevi Eckhouse puts up. 31 of 43, 363 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions. Extra point, good. 52 to 35, with 9 seconds to go.
That was a big touchdown, Gus. Some people are looking for the middle, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. And some people were looking for that middle.
If you're betting milkshakes, as Marv Albert used to say.
Zevi delivers. Be interested to see, you know, kind of what happens and what Zevi could do possibly next year with a full year. You know, because he's clearly a gamer. This guy he can play. That was proven tonight. Big hug. That's Nick Edwards, who was calling the plays tonight. Wide receiver coach, got a chance to call the plays. What a job he did. We talk about all hands on deck for this Cougs team, right? I mean, like, everybody's in a new position. And I'm going to get a little emotional right now, Gus, because I will tell you, both of these teams are about to experience 30 minutes of emotions that they'll never forget. A lot of these guys will be taking off their uniform for the very final time, giving hugs to guys that they won't see for the next 10 and 20 years. And it is the most emotional time of a player's life at the end of a season in the locker room, and what's going to take place in the next half hour and an hour.
Game of football, folks. Greatest game for a young man ever invented. Teaches you so much. Leadership. Coach Brown ready to get that Gatorade shower. I don't know if he knows yet. It's coming. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's still quick. But they got him in the end. 10 wins in his first year. Fran Brown, congratulations.
That's great.
Young man first learned about Syracuse in 1997 when he watched the Orange take on Wisconsin at the Meadowlands. It's from Camden, New Jersey. Donovan McNabb was a quarterback. To Bucky Jones, Donovan Darius, Marvin Harrison. Legends. And it sparked something in him. And now he leads this team to its 10th win. And as you mentioned, Joel, only the second man since World War II to do it, Paul Pasqualoni. The other. And the good thing for Coach Brown is because he won the game, he can take a shower.
That's right. Winners get washed. That's what he says. Kyle McCord, man. Aren't you glad I transferred?
I know his wife is happy about that one. And Orange, you glad I transferred? I'm sure they are. Kyle McCord will take the final knee. And Syracuse will win the game 52-35. Syracuse. And Coach Brown, another great thing, his son will be transferring to Syracuse to play with him next season. Kyle McCord will wait now to see if he can get the additional year to play college football. Let's go downstairs to JT.
Look, Wayne, congratulations.